Hi, we are live. Um, and we're doing the Flora fire today. And we have Paradox with us and Kathy Clendening and criminality. So, Teresa, hi, welcome. Kathy, hi. Paradox,
Thank you
hello.
very much.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody. Thank you
To
for
you
Wait,
having
as
me.
well. Yeah.
it's
Thank you for
morning. I'm ready to go to bed.
Uh, that's funny.
I, I want to
So Kathy, do you
thank
want
you.
to tell us a little bit about who you are and how you know about the fire?
Okay, well, my name is Kathy Clendening. I live in Delphi, Indiana. The Flora four girls was Galen Rose. She's the mother. Her aunt Jackie still is my best friend. I've known Jackie for about 23 years. I met Galen probably I say 19 years ago when she was pregnant with Kiana. She came from Missouri and she stayed here. I want to say about 6 to 8 months. She worked at the Pizza Hut and things like that. She went back to Missouri. The next time I met Galen was back in 2015. Her aunt Jackie, lived here in Delphi. Galen had she had been living in Missouri with her four daughters. She decided her mom had moved to California to be with her family. Galen wanted to move where her mom was. Galen went to California with her and her four girls. Um, Galen then had some troubles there in California. So her aunt Jackie had her nephew, which was Galen's dad. He had moved here a couple years ago and he was living in Flora, working over there at Parrots Catering. So Jackie and Tracy said, hey, Galen, bring the girls and let's, come, let's have a good life here. And Galen jumped on an airplane and they flew into Chicago and here they were, they came from California. So it was funny. It was in November and they didn't have any coats or anything. So Jackie had to run and get coats and stuff and pants because they were in shorts. And that was the next I met Galen, I would say November, maybe December, when Jackie was telling me, about Christmas and getting them Christmas. When they came, they ended up staying with Tracy, her dad, there in Flora. And I think it was a 1-bedroom house. And that was from like November until June of 2016. No, it was May. I can't remember, it was the end of May or June. It was one of the others when Galen rented the apartment there on Columbia Street, the house. And then that's when the house burnt in 2016, November. So she had actually maybe just lived there in the Flora community for a year, her and the girls.
Okay. And Aunt Jackie seems like the nicest lady ever.
Well, Aunt Jackie can be a handful, but yeah, she's she
You can say that, Kat. You've known her for over 20 years.
Yeah.
You
We're
know
not
better than
calling
anybody.
Aunt Jackie a handful.
Yeah, she can be quite the handful, but I'll tell you what, when she moved here, she got really involved in the community. She had a halfway house over there in Flora, which she helped a lot of addicts, a lot of women addicts and things like that. That's what she done here in the community. Yeah, Jackie and when Galen moved here, it was the girls, they started school over there in Flora. It was new for them. They were from Missouri and then they stayed in California. And so that first year, I think it was a little different. It couldn't have been easy, but Galen was making it whatever she was. She got a job at the Holiday Inn over in West Lafayette. She loved to do not public service, but she liked to work with the public. She's so good with the public. Then I think she got pulled over in her dad's truck with Keone, and that was Drew Yoder that pulled her over. He kind of laughed at her because she didn't have a driver's license. She had a beginner's permit. He told her, don't drive anymore. So then she was having a hard time getting back and forth to that job. So she ended up getting the job at the gas station down the street, something that she could get back and forth. She would walk, I remember when she got the apartment, she was so happy, to be out on her own. And Jackie was out helping her get things like she got a coffee table for me and some decorations for it. I think her grandma and the other aunts bought the bunk beds that I don't know if you saw in the pictures that people could see. The girls had brand new beds upstairs, and the couch was donated by one of the aunts. So you can see that in the pictures. It was just a new beginning for Galen. And the girls were just so excited because Flora's, it's a small community. It is a diverse community. I mean, I'm not saying it has a lot of Blacks or a lot, but it is a diverse community, and the girls, had friends, and they just enjoyed it. You could just see the smiles on their faces. Galen too. I mean, look at that face. She just loved her girls so much,
Yeah,
Still
definitely.
So can I ask you a question about, so you said that they actually came from California out to Indiana in approximately around Christmas time?
It was in November, yes, of 2015.
Okay, so they stayed with their family member. Were the girls enrolled in school from that point on, and did they stay in the same school when they moved into the other house in May?
Yes, same school.
They did. Same school. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I was.
Yes. Yep. The same school in Flora. So Tracy lived more on the west side of Flora. And then Galen lived more towards town. Tracy lived more out towards where Parrott's Catering was in a house. I mean, it was still in town, but it was more towards the west, where Galen lived more directly in town. Galen lived on the main road there in Flora.
Okay, so they didn't have to change schools. So they weren't just, because for some reason I was thinking they were enrolling at the end of the year, but it makes more sense that they got there in November. So thank you for clarifying for me.
Yeah. And the three, it was Kiana and Kiara and Carrie-Elle that started school in November of 2015. And then in 2016, Keone had started school.
And that's because she was in preschool. Did she start preschool? Is that the youngest one?
Yes.
She started preschool or kindergarten?
Or kindergarten, probably.
I think it was kindergarten because she has a school picture. So okay. I believe it was kindergarten she started.
Let me bring that up.
She's so cute. I can't stand it. She's just so stinking cute.
I know.
Oh, she was the sweetest. Those pictures that you show there, that's that was the cheerleading competition.
And so you knew all four girls?
Yes. Oh, yeah, all four girls were very sweet. You could tell the first school picture of Kiana, when they came, see the little things in their hair. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just like when they came here, like, it's just something, Galen always kept their hair fixed. And if you saw that first picture of Kiana, she was like,
oh, yeah.
Hey, it was time to grow up a little bit and take all those little balls out of her hair. You know what I mean? And so that was her rebelling. So Galen had her hair fixed to go to school to have pictures taken with those little ponytail. And so when she got to school, she took it all out. And then when Galen saw those pictures, she was like, oh my goodness.
One of my favorite photos, which I don't have right now, is the Halloween one. Before they're going to go trick-or-treating, I believe.
That was their favorite holiday, was Halloween. We try to go decorate their graves a lot. for that one. The girls, that was just their favorite, was Halloween. And yeah, they really enjoyed that. They had big Halloween parties, the family. Galen was just oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're going tomorrow to do Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, and put some
Yeah,
stuff
and
in
it was you
this.
and Jinx that decorated this, correct?
Yeah, me and Jinx, and then Rescue All Dogs comes, and then we just have all kinds of people. Then when we went to do this, there was a gentleman that stopped and said he just wanted to meet us because he'd never seen anybody there at the graves, and his wife and sister's buried there. And ever since the girls have been buried there, he goes and cleans their graves and talks to them.
That's sweet.
Yeah, once you told me that, I like damn near broke down in tears because it's.
Oh, it just
I mean,
it would
it's
just
heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like,
it was just wonderful because he said he knew their story, he knew what
yeah,
happened, and that that he just goes there and he prays, and he knew the mother wasn't around, so but he didn't realize that we were coming and doing all this stuff too. So, but it was really nice seeing him there. I mean, the vases that are there, I mean, you guys all know how they got there. I mean, Tara did help, so with raising the money, and those vases there are the best thing that ever could have been put at those grave sites, because I just love decorating with them. I love putting the flowers in them. So I have no hard feelings with nobody anymore.
no,
Because Galen doesn't live in Indiana anymore, so she
no.
she doesn't get to come up and come here and do all of this. So do you guys send her the pictures when you do it, or you do? Okay.
Yes, we send her the pictures when we do it. Yes, she knows every time that we come, and if she helped pick the vases out. Now, she was there with me and Tara and Frosty and everybody when the vases were picked. She got to pick those out and everything. So she actually lives back in Missouri. 2 weekends ago, I went and visited her, and she took me and my husband around, showing us where the girls were raised and where they went to school, and just a really, really good time spent with her, showing me, about how happy she was, and just good things about, her and the girls. So, yeah.
Actually, can you go through, like, I know they had a very short life. All of them did.
And
Just kind of
a lot of
explain
people,
maybe how they were. I know one is particularly honored. But
well, a lot of people ask those questions, and like Keone was 5, and when I think about my 5-year-old granddaughter, the things that she likes to do were kind of like those same things that Keone liked to do. Like, she liked to hug on her mom. She liked to sleep with Galen. She liked to watch movies, like the Disney and color, all those things that 5-year-olds like to do. And her and Carrie-Elle did those things together. I mean, Carrie-Elle was 7, so Kiana, she was like, when I listened to Galen talk, because I don't know their whole lives, I wasn't around their whole lives, but the oldest was coming into her own, like, with the hair, and she was getting her move on. I'm sure you guys have seen the video. She was, becoming a young lady. So
she is 14, correct? I forgive my memory.
No, 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I
was
asked.
11, and Kiara was 9, and Carrie-Elle was 7, and Keone was 5.
2 years
Kiara,
apart for each of them, almost exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty
almost
good.
exactly.
Yeah. So were they all born in Missouri then?
Yes, and they all have different fathers. Carrie-Elle is a Davis. Kiara was a Phillips. Carrie-Elle is a McDonald, and Keone is a Welch. And everybody always asks, but Galen left these fathers for reasons because they weren't taking care of her and her kids. So she ended up having 4 kids with 4 different men. And she did everything that she could to make sure she took care of those 4 little girls. And she didn't need those men. She didn't need those men.
Did
You know,
any of dads, like, have they, any of them come and talk to anybody or like come forward or been in looked at for the fire? I mean, like,
one was in prison. There's another one in prison now. The oldest dad, he still lives there in Missouri. And no, he had a family and everything. Yeah, they weren't here. They weren't around. They weren't.
like
Neither,
nobody
none of
even, they didn't even try to come around after to figure out like what happened or.
One did. The one, and he was.
That be Colton?
No, Colton was the boyfriend, the white
Right.
boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
My understanding is, obviously he's on the supplemental report that's out there. I believe his last
Oh
name
yeah,
is Creasy. I think that's right.
yeah, Colton. Mhm.
Yeah.
Caitlin
Okay.
dated him. Mhm,
Yeah,
she sure
and
did.
they just like broke up right before all this happened. But I think, but you were
Yes,
telling me that he was actually like a really nice dude, a
from
really
from
nice
what
guy.
I mean, like from what she told me, I'm like I don't. I've looked at criminal record for him. I don't really see a lot. What I seen from him when I looked him up a long time ago, and I've kept an eye out. He's one of those type of persons that the chemtrail. What is it? The
Conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theorist, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he is. Like he isn't somebody that I mean, like he dated a black woman, so I don't think he has any hate or anything. And when I talked to Galen about him, I can't say, she just always told me it wasn't that deep. Like, it was like 2 adults dating, I mean,
How long had they dated?
not for very long. I mean, she only lived there a year.
I don't think it was
So-
like a serious, like too serious.
It
of a thing,
wasn't.
but like from what I understand, he like spoke very fondly of her.
I'll
Yeah.
just call what it is right now. A fuck buddy is what I'd call
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like, yeah, an adult relationship, like
Yeah.
what people have. Like, I don't know why people don't get that. Sometimes it's like, people have adult relationships where they just do those things.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know,
well, I think she worked a
get
lot
all
and she had her
fashioned
kids and everything, and so you
Yeah.
gotta fit
He
in where you can.
Oh, and he
yeah,
was,
right.
he was really nice, and
So
he
why did
didn't-
she leave Missouri and go to California? What was in California?
her mom, and her mom's family. Her mom was in Missouri. Galen lived with her mom in Missouri. And then Galen's mom moved to California because that's where her mother was and
Northern
her family.
California, correct?
Huh?
Northern California, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even really sure what town it was now. Gosh darn
Okay,
it.
so she came with her mom.
And then, and then she moved there. And then there was some problems there where she couldn't stay, her and the girls. So that's when she was homeless for a little bit, her and the girls. And I'm pretty sure she had a car, stuff like that, but she was okay. And then Jackie and those guys helped her come here to Indiana. And she
So
flew into
Jackie's her
Chicago.
dad's sister, correct?
Aunt. Her dad's aunt.
Yeah. Oh, it's her
Yes.
great aunt. Jackie's her great aunt.
Yes, she is. Great
Oh,
aunt. Yes.
got it. Okay.
Yes. But in that family, I don't know, it's just one big family. Like her grandmother was Jackie's sister, and then there were then her other aunt, and then she does have another aunt that does live in California too. So, but yeah, and it just didn't work out for her and the girls in California, so she was coming here.
Right.
Yeah, that was her plan.
And
you
at
know?
that point in time, if you can speak on this, Kath, you don't have to, obviously. Never have to. She actually had a husband, correct?
Oh, and I can't 100%, and I'm not gonna. I know it was for convenience for him, I believe he was a, he just needed to be married so he could go to school and be a doctor, I believe. That's
Okay.
all I know. How's that?
Yeah, and he actually
Community
graduated and
service,
is a
basically.
doctor to this day.
It was
Is
a
that
good-
in
I think-
good
Missouri
deed.
or California?
I think it was California. I'm not really sure. It might have been Missouri. I'm not 100% sure on that one. That
Yeah.
one,
Maybe we shouldn't
it was
talk on that.
No.
yeah, listen, it was the one that like people found that here in Delphi, okay, where she filed for the divorce, because she did file for the divorce
Mhm.
here. Okay, and people found that, and people have been questioning that. Okay, and it wasn't like, I don't even know
And they
that
were good friends, right?
that's it. That
Yeah,
was
okay.
it. I believe that was it. There
We'll leave
was
it
nothing.
at that then.
Yeah. The guy's a doctor now. That's all I know. She
Yep.
helped to make sure, and he's a doctor.
On who's living. Well, I'm not even gonna say it, but
I'm sure he's living pretty decently now.
yeah, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. So yeah, there's like a dynamic happening here. There's like a lot of people question, but I think a lot of people put too much weight on what was her, well, unfortunately, current boyfriend at the time, kind of an ex, more or less, or
Right.
what you just explained, and then her husband as well. A lot of people like look at him and you can read the police supplemental report that's out there, and Colton did the correct thing, and that's to not speak to the police, number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I'm
he
not
did
gonna.
speak to the police.
He did.
Oh,
It's in
he
that
did.
report. He did,
Yeah.
but he won't speak to him anymore, and I get that. I really do.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
It's in the
That's his constitutional right, and I'll never hold that against anybody at all, ever.
Colton's was the biggest interview, because it was, how many pages do I have here?
Quite
in
a
front of me?
bit. It was quite a
Yeah,
bit. It was like
I mean,
like
like,
3 at least that I know.
oh no, heck, it's a whole
Wait, I don't
stack
have
here.
I don't have a Colton Creasy interview.
I gave
don't?
that to you, and I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
have
pull it up right now because there's social security numbers on that.
Yeah,
I'll send that to you again,
but I
T.
will send it to
No,
you.
if it's in there, I'll go back and find it. I'll do
But
it.
yeah,
I'll find it.
and there's a redacted one on a Reddit page called Flora 4, so you can
Okay.
go see it there. But I'll send it to you anyways. You'll just have to redact those numbers. Probably the birth dates if you care to, or driver's license numbers.
Yeah, this is, I like it. Shame on me, Kathy. Clendening with Cinda sharing original shit with people's stuff on it. What is wrong with you?
I've shared it a few times
Like, what
around.
the fuck
It's like,
what the fuck is wrong with you? I like in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so sorry. But
It
yeah,
happened.
I didn't mean to share stuff with
I'll
people's
make sure you get
Oh,
that report, T. Because you can look at what there's a few other people, Jennifer Barnes being one of them, was interviewed. She's actually in prison now for killing
Maybe it's just in
somebody.
the overall police report.
For
I think
killing
it might have
somebody?
been-
Yeah.
yes, a black man in Flora.
Mhm.
Is Jennifer Barnes the one that came to her house with that guy to smoke or something like that?
Yes, Snoop Dogg. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then
That's a whole different case. That's crazy.
Jennifer Barnes also sent me a message. Like I gave all these messages. Yeah, I gave all these messages
Was
to the
Snoopy
FBI.
was Snoopy like hooking up with Galen, and that
No,
Jennifer
Snoopy was
Barnes had a problem
no.
with it? Or they
No.
they were together and they stopped by.
Yeah, they were just together. No, Snoopy and Jennifer Barnes were together.
Yeah, that's what I meant. They were together and they stopped by.
And then when she went to jail, now Snoopy Dogg was with her daughter, one of them. I don't know. It's a weird situation over there. That's all I got to say over there in that town with Jennifer Barnes. I can just tell you.
I read her appeal
that girl,
and like everything that went on that night. I'm not really sure I trust these people.
Oh, I wouldn't trust her. I mean, so okay. So they had the bench ceremony there, and that stone bench that was built, that was done by an art teacher over there in Flora, at the high school. He
Yeah.
was leaving, and he had a bunch of extra stone, so he built that bench. And Jennifer Barnes came to that. So now that is the first time Galen had ever saw Anna Williams or Becky Patty. And that's when Galen looked at me and said, I know that lady. I said, well, Galen, that's Becky Patty. That's Liberty German's grandmother. You know, one of the girls that, you know, died over there in Delphi. And she's like, yeah, but she came to my house. I said, what house? She came to, you know, and so that's how Becky was involved, because Becky had came while Galen was there to do the appraisal on the house for the Ayers family.
Right.
And so Jennifer Barnes was also there. And I believe that's the first time I had ever met her. And so she sent me messages afterwards telling me that it was the upstairs neighbors and gave me their names. And so that's what I turned over to the police.
Right.
Kevin Hammond. I have
And
copies of it too.
is it
Text
true that
messages.
they actually called the landlord before the fire department or police, 911?
Yes.
Is that true?
Elizabeth, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's in that 63 page that I sent Teresa. It's on the it's the very last pages that will tell you all about what the times were when Elizabeth called, you know, how
Yeah,
many
and
minutes in
there's like two
between.
people who called it essentially at the same time, if I recall correctly. There was,
Elizabeth called first,
yeah,
and then within so many seconds, Courtney Dawns, which was the upstairs neighbor in the apartment next door, next to the girls.
right.
So
She-
when
he
they won't release the 911 calls, or is that like the 911 calls plural, or it's like the first one, or like I guess I didn't realize that
all.
there's more than one.
Yeah, there's
It's
two.
both. It's both. Neither. It's not. They try to say, okay, so Cassie Hawkins, I think, or Hankins. I'm not really sure that's her name. I have her photo of her, and I've got it here somewhere. She was the 911 operator, and she threw a fit about when they tried to get him released. So I don't know. And she's also friends with Adam Randall too. So.
Yeah, and it was in a leaked video recording that I saw where like the town council head guy, I don't know what else to call it, was like, I don't understand why we just don't release these. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Well, because then that Cassie Hankins, she was the 911 operator that answered. She fought it. She was part of the
You know why?
reason. I wish I did.
Okay.
I wish I did. She no longer works here, but she is, I believe, either Lafayette or West Lafayette 911. So I would love to know why our county spent so much money to keep us from doing that.
I was corrected on. I thought it was around 30,000. Apparently, it's 50,000.
I think it's more than that.
Okay, maybe 60. I don't understand why all this money went to absolutely nothing. Apparently, seemingly so, because even the town head dude, I don't know what to call him, said he heard it, he listened to it, and there was nothing on there that's of interest. I'm not paraphrasing, but something along those lines.
He's not the only person that said that, and I can say this because okay, so Galen's civil suit, Galen had an attorney, Faith Alvarez, which Faith Alvarez did not finish the civil suit. She was let go prior to the civil suit. So Faith told me when I asked her about the 911, this is what she said. She said, I literally almost had to sign over my children to get that 911 recording. And she said, I listened to it, and she said there was nothing on it.
Right. Yeah, that's my understanding. I don't understand why I spend all this. I don't know. I'm not them. I don't understand.
If you think that the only reason I can think is because so the town of Flora attached an attorney to Galen's civil suit because they believed Galen was going to sue the town of Flora.
Right.
But I couldn't tell you why Galen was going to sue the town of Flora. They may be able to tell you why, but none of us know why they think that.
Nope.
It must be in the 911 call.
Oh,
It
yeah.
very well could have been. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense, I guess. I still
Because
don't
none of us
understand.
know. Because, okay, so our committee, okay, so after the fires and then after the murders, then, you know, all that money was for the Delphi, you know, for the reward. And so there was a post put on Facebook that said, and it was from Sarah Hanaway. She lives in Flora. She's one of the, she's the trustee over there. I guess they help people get houses or money or whatever. So she posted that we needed to do something about Flora. So I reached out to Jackie. Do you know this person? And Jackie said, yeah, she helped with the halfway house over there. She, you know, whatever. So we got together and we started that committee. Within a year, Galen had got her attorneys, and at one of the meetings, it was in May of 2017, we were told that the town didn't want us to collect money anymore for the reward fund for them, that Galen was suing the town of Flora. And I'm like, no, she's not suing the town of Flora. She's suing heirs.
But I'm still confused. So at the time of the fire, they thought that Galen was going to be suing Flora?
Yeah.
Or years later because of the fire? I guess I'm really confused by that, because she'd only lived in Flora for 6 months or almost a year, I guess, 6 months at this location.
Right.
So what would she have been suing the town for? What happened that she would even sue the town for before the fires?
I don't know. I think it's on the 911.
But that's what I'm asking is, what would have been on the 911? Why would anybody think she was suing the town? What had happened to Galen that she would have been suing anybody?
I don't know, because that's okay. So Sarah Hanaway and the person's house that we were at, her name is Jenny Wheeler. They own the funeral home over there in Flora. Her husband was on the committee too there in Flora. Now with Josh Ayers and the other one, you know, the town council. So the Wheeler guy was on there too. So somebody had to have known something. And when they told us that they didn't want, I mean, the town council had to have been talking about it. I mean, there's something. I don't know, Teresa.
Well, what does Galen say? What does Galen say? Like, this happened and this is why they think I was going to sue?
Galen doesn't know.
Accident? Did something happen at the house? I mean, there doesn't make any sense that they would just randomly think she's going to sue the city for somebody who's lived in the city for a year.
If you look at her civil case, you'll see the attorney for the town of Flora, which when we went for the settlement hearing, when I went with her, and Tara was with us this time, and we got to go in the court. There was a lot of lawyers. There was lawyers there for Birch Tree Holding, Josh Ayers, Troy Helderman had a lawyer. Auto Insurance had a lawyer there, and the town of Flora had a lawyer there.
How would the town of Flora have a lawyer there?
They were just there. They were there.
Maybe like something to do with like the response time or something. I have no idea.
I do want to say we can't really go into that lawsuit any further than we just did. Let's leave it there.
Right.
The civil lawsuit?
Correct. There's a non-disclosure agreement attached to that, and I know Kathy probably knows more. She was there.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just not cross that line.
The things that I can talk about, though, Dan, or Paradox, is the parts where I was there, and I can talk about the second time. This is the one I can't talk about what actually happened, but I can tell you when we went back, it was just me and Galen, and this was the final with the settlement, and this is when the Ayers family came, and Troy Halderman was there, and then the dozens of lawyers, and it was me, Galen, and her lawyer,
Mhm.
and I was wearing the shirt with the girls' picture, and Ayers' wife got offended, and they asked me to leave the courtroom, and so I had to go sit out, and the judge made me leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to go sit out there in the thing while Galen was in there by herself. While
Yeah,
they
which
had
wasn't
all
fair
these,
when I heard about that. I
wasn't very fair. I didn't like it. I mean, the only part of it,
They don't want anything to prejudice anything one way or the other. So I mean, it sucks, but in
I
the
get it.
courtroom, that's typically how courthouse decorum orders are.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
I
know how
was
this
in
was in
federal
particular. I mean, it
courthouse.
sucks because it's just the girls,
Yep.
you know.
It was, and it made her mad, and she had me leave because they said I didn't have anything in the case, which they let me and Tara sat in there the last time with her, but yeah, they wouldn't let me sit in there this time. So
yeah.
Okay, so I'm still confused though on, you think that the town of Flora thought that Galen was going to sue the town of Flora prior to the fire?
no,
I guess I
no,
need that timeline. Only
no,
after,
it would have
during
been
the
after the fire. It would have been after the fire.
Why would that be in the 911 call? Like,
What I'm thinking is they made a mistake in the 911 call. Something happened. I don't know. Why won't they release it? What's in it? And why would Galen sue the town of Flora? She had no reason to sue the town of Flora.
Well, yeah, and that's the issue that I kind of have because NFPA, National Fire Protection Agency, wasn't around at the point in time when this dwelling was constructed, and you'll see this, or you'll read about it in the lawsuit. Actually, is a COBA. It's like a collection of building association or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Was actually in charge of stuff, and that's what the town used at that point in time when that building was constructed. I still don't see how a lawsuit would develop against that town. They were using up to date codes that they knew.
Well, they really don't have anything like that over there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh well, it's in. I mean, I can't pull it up right now, but yeah, COBA was used when
Right.
they were
I mean,
constructing the house. But again, I don't see how that could affect a lawsuit against the town. I just don't see it. And maybe they
I
were
don't.
just being cautious. I don't know.
That's all I know is that's what we were told is why, you know, and we did not collect any more money after that. The money sat in the bank account until then they decided, the 5 years was up and they were going to give it to the fire department.
Correct.
About that, Kathy, do you know if they bought like fire alarms or did any like outreach on fire safety or anything like that with
Oh,
that money?
they didn't do anything with that money because I filed a complaint with the Attorney General of the state of Indiana. So they still have it. They can't spend it until they can explain to me. I just like, I think that it was crooked the way it was done. I didn't
Yeah.
like it. So I filed a suit with the Attorney General of the state of Indiana. I mean, it may take, it's just it's nothing big. It's just just they got to look in on it and they can't spend it until they look in to make sure that everything was legal. You know
Well,
what I
it seems
mean?
that money was like raised with that purpose in mind, and like people worked really hard to get that money together, and then like for it to go to like, I don't know, like it
See,
would
the
make sense
problem with
if it,
that is the first meeting we had in Flora with that woman, Sarah Hanaway. That was the first time I had ever met her. We had another lady, her name was Vicky. She came from Lafayette. I met her in one of the Facebook groups for Delphi, and she came. Aunt Jackie was there, me, a couple of the ladies from the town of Flora, and then there was 3 gentlemen that came, and 2 of them was on the town board. And so as we discussed what the committee was going to be, what we were going to raise the funds for, they did not want any of the money to go to Galen Rose. They were just so specific. A lot of the things that we were discussing was because of what happened with the Delphi case and how all that money came flooding in, and they didn't get to keep any of that money. That money was like a promise for a reward for somebody, you know what I'm saying? So so they needed it to become, that's why they had the park foundation. You know how that was all set up. So the Miriam Robeson is the attorney for the Abby Libby field, and she was also the attorney over the Flora 4 Foundation.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Miriam Robeson helped us to form it. When we started it, I wanted to have our own 501c, and Sarah Hanaway said we would be better umbrellaed under the Flora Community Club. So our committee was umbrellaed under their 501c. And so, yeah, so they had a lot of control over it. And Miriam Robeson is also, and see, a lot of that, us having the committee and the way it was set up, they were mirroring it off of what they were doing for Delphi.
Mm-hmm.
But the Delphi's reward didn't get given up after 5 years, you know?
Well, and actually,
It
I
was
want to
different.
speak on this a little bit more, and Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably wrong. That award is, no, it's fine. You know I am. Was supposed to be like 2 years after the fact before they took that money, right? It was like
which one for gaming?
for
5 years.
Flora, and I thought
Oh
they
yeah,
took
5
it
years.
early.
No, they took it around the 5 years. They wanted
okay.
They sent me messages in the fall, but it was close to the 5 years, and I was fighting it, and I'm still.
Did it ever pass the $5,000 mark?
No.
No, I don't believe it did.
Oh yeah. Oh
no, it was like $20,000, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, it was 18,800. God, I got a file on that too. The Flora 4 Foundation. There it is.
Yeah, thank you. Because I thought what was raised by the books, or excuse me, the cookbooks, was different than that was raised by the fuck
okay,
you
so
call it?
the state of Indiana.
Sorry.
The state of Indiana has a reward, or they used to. So that's what started out when it happened with Flora, and it became an arson on January 30th of 2016, or whatever, 29th, whichever day Denny Randall decided to have a press conference, and he said it was an arson. Then a reward was set up for $5,000, and that was through the state of Indiana. Now that was the same thing that happened with Delphi. It's the same $5,000, and so off of that $5,000, you guys, the Colts people put money in. Money just kept coming in. Okay, so that money there, nothing can be done with that money. It had to go for a reward. So that's why they started the Abby Libby Foundation.
Right.
Because all that money that was for the reward, if nobody could have that money, it would go back, or you know what I'm saying? Because it was only for a reward. So then when Sarah decided to do the one for Flora, she went through Miriam, and they said that we needed to do it this way, that, we need to do it for 5 years. And if somebody didn't collect it in 5 years, we would give the money away, blah, blah, blah,
I totally
blah, blah.
disagree with that. Yeah, that's fucked up, in my opinion.
Well, I didn't have but 3 people there that was voting for what we wanted. And then the other 3 guys that was in the first meeting never came back.
Yeah.
That's why I went to the Attorney General. I feel like it was a whole sham from day one. Why I busted my ass to collect $18,000, guys.
Well, I know.
$18,000 went to the fire department.
It hasn't yet. It's still in a bank account. Nobody can touch it until the Attorney General tells them what to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us the last time the house passed any type of inspection?
I can. It's in the COBA reports. It was actually no, not an inspection. It was damn, what am I trying to think of here? It was yeah, actually, Kathy. This you're
I
here to
don't
make
know.
sure my memory doesn't fail. So.
No, you keep talking because you know more about that than I do. Because okay, look, to get the loan or to insure it,
Yeah,
they
let me
didn't even
stop
have to
sharing
have
my
it appraised.
screen.
I mean, you don't even have to have somebody come out and say, "Oh, the house is worth $500,000."
Yeah, let me grab a.
And if they typically, if they're, and I don't know how it is there, but I know that typically it's if you're purchasing the property or if you're refinancing the property or doing anything to the property, they have to come and inspect it and clear it, make sure that everything is up to code.
Well, like from what I understand from like the news thing that WRX did, actually I could probably just like show that, but they basically what happened is like they come and you get an insurance plan or whatever, and they kind of like guesstimate, like, so it was like a range from like a certain amount to 400,000, and then like later on they'll have their appraiser person come, or like because they had just gotten it, like, was it like 2 months
Yeah,
before?
it was, and I'm looking for that document right now. Right.
Who got
Sorry
what
about
house
that.
2 months before?
The
Not the house,
Sorry,
appraisal.
I'm
the insurance.
plugging in my.
How long had they owned the property?
Yes. Oh, it was
How
a
long did they
family
own-
property. They owned it forever. Forever. It was the Ayers property. His mom and dad. He was raised in that house. Josh Ayers was.
And then when
So
did
His
they
mom
give
and
it?
dad lived in that house.
But when did he take over? When was
Right
it given to him?
before the fire. It's in the documents. I'd have to go back and look. It's in I think it's in Josh Ayers' deposition saying when his dad gave it to him. And that one's a
I'm
big
curious
one. That
about
was
if they had it
195
inspected
pages.
when it was transferred.
Yeah.
When he was transferred to Josh, I want to know if they had the house had to have been inspected. At least it should have been.
Oh, it was
No, it
appraised.
wasn't.
I don't know about inspected.
There was never inspected, guys. There was no inspections. They don't do that kind of stuff over there, I don't think. They don't
Wouldn't
do that
surprise
stuff.
me at all.
I
Hey,
mean,
is Dan up here? I didn't even see Dan.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Dan, how you
oh,
doing?
hey, Dan. How's it
Dan.
going?
I know in Ohio they only need
Brother-
inspected if you get an HFA loan.
Well,
You
see,
can
to
buy
rent it
houses
out.
without
Oh, here's
inspection.
where it is, and this is some shit we can't share.
You can have it that way if you buy one, but you don't have to have it inspected for a conventional loan.
Unfortunately, this is in a document I can't share. Here it is. Auto owners. It was what the fuck is it? They did the what was it, Kathy? I wish I remembered more than I do.
I'm
It
not
was only
exactly
worth
sure.
like 200,000,
Oh, no,
169,000.
the house was only worth like $60-some thousand or 66,000.
Yeah,
and
but
then
the insurance on
got-
it was like twice as
It's
what it was worth, and
like, yeah, it was like a lottery win for the landlord. It was like 500,000, 490 some $1,000. And I got those documents here somewhere too. I swear.
Thank
there's
you.
no
I mean, if you can
there's
find them,
loan
I
against
can't
the
find
property.
mine.
There's no mortgage on that land at all.
No, they owned it.
Yeah, they owned it.
I thought he went and borrowed some money against it.
Oh, he refi?
I think.
Well, yeah, that's exactly why.
Or an equity loan?
That's
Sorry,
exactly how
not
these
refi.
documents came about.
That's
is
why.
because
That's
he
why
did that.
Becky Patty had to do the appraisal thing, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
For the
But
bank.
that's for the insurance company, right? Or was it for the bank?
No, it was for the bank. Becky worked for the bank.
Okay, so I guess I'm still confused then, because how did they not have it inspected?
You don't have to out here.
Indiana.
For code, now renting, I don't know how that works. Depending on how you do your renting stuff, there's ways around
Of course, there
that
is.
stuff. And it's like Have you ever seen old country properties that you can rent? None of them are up to code.
Let me
You can't
grab the floor.
cost you $100,000 to redo the plumbing,
I want to know the
outbound
guy
plumbing
that
and
drove
septic
by.
tank.
I want to know the insurance guy that drove by and took pictures and said, "Oh, this house is worth $500,000."
Hey,
No,
Kathy, wasn't there
Oh,
like a
there's no alley.
controversy involving like there
I
was
could
like a
probably
board
explain
or
that
something that
too.
wanted to add in like building codes, and somehow like
Yes.
Shane Evans was involved in that, and then this other guy that was like on that board, but I don't know what that guy's name is.
Are
I
we
can't
talking
think of
about
it.
Dale Stewart? Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Dale
so.
Stewart.
I
It
have
was
the
Dale.
image pulled
Oh
up
yeah.
here. Sorry, Kathy, I don't mean to cut you off, obviously.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You can
I know
share my
exactly
well,
what
I mean,
she's talking about.
yeah.
It's because Flora has its own town council. They have their own. You know what I mean? And Shane Evans was the mayor here in Delphi. And Dale Stewart's brothers were two of the people that are on the shit over there in Flora. You know, it's all about money here. And it's more about the farmers and their money and you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Their houses.
Kathy, that 500,000 thing, I think I know why that's like that. My neighbors bought their house down the road from me for 100,000, probably back in like 2018 or something.
Because
And
that's what it would take to rebuild.
Yeah, yep. I was saying it's appraised for like $585,000.
Yeah. And it happens. It's been happening all across the country.
But you don't insure it, and then a month later it burned to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's odd, isn't it? I don't know if my screen is shared.
Sorry.
No.
I'm on it.
I don't know where I found this information at, and I don't know why my damn iCloud is full. Oh, I know why, because I can't stop taking pictures. So, so I was looking at this, and I'm 100% sure this is more of Tara's work, and I really missed her because she really did a lot of good work. So anyway, there's this report of fires in just in Flora in from 2002 to 2017. On Center Street there was 18. On Center there was 16. Columbia Street 14, 210, 3rd Street 10, Division Street 8, Walnut Street 6, Bringhurst Road 4, and you can just keep going down through here on these streets in Flora, all these fires. Okay, and then I'm just telling you, I'm sure this was from Tara. And then there's this other 4 sources based on the data from 2000. 27 took place in 2013. 27 fires in 2013.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Her and I went through this information as well. And I
mean,
it's her
for
work
me,
product,
it feels like it's an arsonist.
Absolutely,
Well,
and that's the thing. I have my own personal reserved thoughts on this, but
who was the first person that was there on the scene when Yoder drove up?
Okay,
should we play that dash cam?
Oh yeah, if you like.
I sent you the link, didn't I?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, okay. You can stop sharing my screen, but
I did.
We'll go back to this.
Hey, I'm gonna run upstairs and grab my drink. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
What kind of drink? She's getting drunk.
It's a Pepsi.
Damn it, she heard me. Yeah, Teresa, I'm gonna pull up the
video of the Flora arson fire.
More than 6 years ago, the fire claimed the lives of 4 young girls. They were sisters, ages 5 to 11. Their names were Kiani Welsh, Carrie L. McDonald, Kiara Phillips, and Kiana Davis.
The video that you're about to see will be difficult for some people to watch, but it does provide the clearest picture so far of the valiant but unsuccessful efforts to try and rescue those girls that night.
Chief Investigator Steve Brown has our exclusive story.
This story centers on Carroll County Sheriff's Deputy Drew Yoder. He suffered serious injuries attempting to reach the 4 girls killed in the Flora fire. We have only ever heard from the deputy once at a brief news conference 6 weeks after the fire.
Some nights it brings tears to my eyes. Sometimes I try not to go past there. But I still think of those 4 little girls standing out there, dancing around, smiling at you, waving at you.
This is dash cam video of Yoder responding to the fire. You will only see what the camera is pointed at, but Yoder is wearing a microphone, and at times you will hear much more than you see. Flora police officer Josh Dysinger arrives seconds before Yoder. The first voice you hear is the girl's mother, Galen Rose.
Where is it? Is it upstairs? County, send cutler fire as well. Get cutler fire in there as well. Yeah, where are the kids? Upstairs? Where's the picture? Stay around the corner to the left. Josh, I can't tell. Guys, the medics as well. Josh, you good? Josh, you good? You good? I can't pull, man. I can't pull.
Inside the house, Yoder faced intense heat and thick smoke without protective gear while trying to climb this set of stairs. Then at the top, a landing on the left and another shorter set of stairs leading to the girl's bedroom. The girl's mother desperately tries to direct Yoder around that landing.
You go around the corner. Please. Let's go. Keep going.
But the smoke was too much.
Guys, send tones. Keep sending off tones, please. We still got 4 kids inside. We can't get inside.
Yoder runs back to his car and races to the Flora Fire Department just 4 blocks away. The deputy is also a volunteer firefighter. The drive takes 24 seconds. He exits his car, races in, and yells to get the equipment moving.
Hey, clean the roll, dude. There's people inside.
For the next 45 seconds, it sounds like Yoder is getting into his turnout gear. He then runs back to his car, races back to the scene with fire trucks just behind him.
Hey, they're coming. They're right here, dude. They're right here. They're coming.
Both Deputy Yoder and Officer Dysinger quickly put on air packs to re-enter the house. If you look here, you can see one of them entering, crawling on hands and knees. Just seconds later, something has gone wrong. At 3:45, an emergency call goes out. Officer down. Other firefighters are now working to rescue Yoder while still trying to reach the 4 girls. And as the fire starts moving more rapidly right to left, from the back of the house to the front door, an alarm sounds, signaling an air pack low on oxygen. Firefighters would reach Yoder and the 4 girls and bring them out. Feverish attempts at CPR were performed on the girls without success. Yoder was rushed to the hospital. At the same time, flames engulfed the entire house. The last thing we see on the video is an advanced life support vehicle pulling up just before 4 a.m. It would be almost 2 months before it was announced the fire was an arson. In the 6+ years since, the investigation has not produced an arrest. Before making our final decision to air the dash cam video, we did show it to Galen Rose at her request. She supports airing the video. It is her hope that it will generate tips from the public that might finally bring this case to a close. That number is 1-800-382-4628. You do not have to give your name to provide information. Steve Brown, Fox 59. And
Yeah, that's hard for me to listen to, obviously, for many reasons.
I thought that other civilians had already come and started trying to get the girls prior to Yoder and Dissinger being there. Am I incorrect about that?
For some reason, nobody talks about
Right?
Adam Ayers, because Adam Ayers is actually the first person that actually, if you read Mike Vergon's statement, Adam Ayers is the one that tells him he saw the fire. He is the only one that actually saw fire. Everybody else was only smoke. He's the one that explains a lot of things. He's the one that went in, come back out, went home, said he was getting a flashlight and a towel, came back with what? Just a towel, no flashlight. Yeah. So he's the one that actually broke out the bedroom windows upstairs was Adam Ayers.
What about Erskine and Randall?
Why did he do that? Do you know?
I don't know, because you can hear like, because Indie Archives has the better. Okay, so Fox 59 didn't air the whole thing, and you had to go to their website to get the full video, and so Tara tried, and they ended up copy striking her, but Indie Archives has a good one on his that shows a lot more, which is a lot closer up, and it's a little bit different. But Adam Ayers is standing there when Drew Yoder pulls up. You see him, and you see her too. You see Elizabeth Ayers. You see Galen in her nightgown. You see Drew Yoder run in. I've looked, but I don't see Dysinger, and I've looked and I know Josh Dysinger, so I keep looking, but I never did see him in any of those. And then you see him, you hear windows breaking, so you'll hear glass the whole time that so it's only supposed to be Josh Dysinger and Drew Yoder there. But the next day after the fire, the on Facebook, the city of Flora, or the city police, put out a text, which I have it, or a Facebook post, saying that Adam Randall was also there at the scene.
That's my understanding.
And so, but there's really no talk about Adam Randall
or Erskine.
Well, Erskine came with the fire department.
Do you want me to play the Indie Archives one?
Yeah, actually, let's make sure we plug his channel, though.
Which one? Indie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he does a lot of this stuff.
I thought Erskine was there. Okay, so you're going to have to correct me here if I'm wrong then, because my understanding was that Erskine was there. He was one of the first ones on the scene. Not that he came with the fire department, because he didn't volunteer with that fire department. He lived by there, and that he showed up, and Adam Randall was sleeping on his couch because he'd gotten in a fight with his wife.
Now, see, I don't know that to be 100% factual, but it could be.
And so they both, because they were both volunteer firefighters, but did not volunteers for Flora.
No, Adam Randall was the actual chief of Flora Fire Department.
Well, Erskine, or not Erskine, I guess I should just go with Erskine. There wasn't a volunteer there. So I'm looking for.
So wasn't he a volunteer for Camden?
I thought so.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm trying to pull this from my memory and seeing
and I think that is something that's one of those things that I think was okay. So the very next day, his wife that was filed for divorce, but I think that it wasn't, she just went and filed for divorce that morning because I just going to go file for divorce. I think there was issues prior. I believe Adam Randall
he was supposedly sleeping on Erskine's couch.
Okay, well, the only way.
This is all rumor.
The only way that
I have no fact. That's why I'm asking. I just want to say, I
yeah,
don't know
me
that
neither.
Okay.
Okay, so Okay, so that would be the same thing. Okay, at the time, Erskine would have been married. Okay, to, and I'm not going to say her name, but he would have been married to this person. Okay, and then after the fires, at some point, Erskine and her separated, and she got with somebody else that spread a rumor that Galen set the fire, which that rumor, I've been told from people here, and then I found out from that idiot Chris Todd Goose that it came from David Erskine, that Gay Lynn went to the gas station, filled up a gas can, and came back and set the house on fire, which is not true, because Steve Brown, the reporter you just watched, investigated that, because Chris Goose called him too and told him the same thing. And so Steve Brown investigated it to make sure it didn't happen. And it didn't. Galen could not have got gas from the pumps. They were turned off. And she did not have a key to get in the gas station.
Okay, so can we talk about like the floor plan of the house?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll bring that up.
And,
Just give me 1 second.
Where all these, yeah, that's fine. We're all like all the neighbors that we're talking about, like where they all were, like, so we can visualize it. You know what I mean? Like, see.
Yeah, unfortunately, too, I don't have the top floor plan of the house. I have the bedroom where the girls were burnt to death. That's all I have.
Okay.
I don't know how else to
maybe we
make
can just
that
show it, like,
look
if we show like a photo of the house, you can kind of explain, because I'm trying to like visualize where everybody.
Okay, yeah, I have it up on a screen right now.
Do you have a photo of just the houses? Like, I have one that is the overview of the house, both houses side by side.
Look. Give me one moment, because I thought you gave me a front view of this house, actually.
Oh, there you go. You shared. Did you notice you just shared the front of my house with my Christmas light?
My bad. I'll remove that. Actually, I'm sorry, Cassie. You know I didn't mean to do that.
I'm just messing with you. Okay. So,
So this is a front porch here next to the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is pretty quick on one of these roadways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's like their main road in Flora, though. Like, that's their
where the white car is setting,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main road, and then the road right here, that's a one-way. So you can only go one way down that road right there. That's a one-way road.
And then, that's actually not a good road. It's actually fucked up. People can't see it in this picture, but it's not a good road.
No, but see the house behind it with the fence or the stuff? That's where the paramedic lived.
Which one, on the right or left here? Where my blue mouse is?
The house that's behind Galen's is where the paramedic lady lived.
There's
but to the on the main road or on the one-way road?
Yeah.
On the one-way road. Yeah, right behind.
Over here on the right? Where
that one.
Black. Okay.
Yes.
What paramedic?
She was a paramedic that when the house caught on fire, and she's the one that she said worked on Drew Yoder.
Okay.
Because the girls weren't out of the house yet, she said. She won't tell me a lot of stuff. I tried.
Okay,
I've tried with her girlfriend too, Lisa.
So this little staircase in the back here, or on the side, I guess it technically would be on the side of the house, leads to how many units?
Okay, so these stairs right there that go upstairs, that is the whole top of the house, except for the point to the bedroom where the girls were.
Yeah, let me grab that. I want to show you a photo again. My bad.
So the girls were in the only one bedroom.
Yeah. So but the other unit, who were the ones that lived there?
Oh, it was
one of the ones that called 911, right?
Courtney Dawns, and Anthony Gray. You don't hear much about them anymore either.
No,
actually, and you heard nothing about them during the fire.
Second floor plan.
To
has,
their unit.
yeah, it was lit on fire.
What'd you say?
But I
T?
mean, I was wondering, did they have not damage? I shouldn't say after, like not after, but because obviously everything caught on fire. But like
Yeah.
when the fire was happening, was anything taking place in their unit?
The smoke alarm was going off, and I think that could be heard on the 911, maybe.
Not on the 911, but that video recording from. Obviously, we don't have the 911 call. We have that video recording of the police officer, and you can hear the fire alarm going off.
But the
So
smoke
should
that
I
was
play the Indie Archives video right now?
Yeah.
Well, wait
Why
a minute.
not? Well, let's talk about
okay.
this floor plan.
Okay.
The second
the
floor plan is cut off, and
Mhm.
because that's not part of Galen's unit at all, and it doesn't.
So if you take that picture, Teresa, that's on the right, and set it right over top of the bedroom,
Right here.
that's Galen's whole house. The whole
Okay.
bottom part there, and then that one bedroom that's set over top of the downstairs bedroom. So if you're looking at it, the girls' bedroom was on the right side of the house upstairs.
Right here.
And then if you look at the rest of Galen's house, then the neighbors had the rest of that upstairs.
But no fire actually started in their unit.
No,
No, it
well,
was on
it
was on
burned,
that
but it
back
wasn't
porch.
started. No,
No accelerants, no nothing was found in their unit.
No. And if you look where where that circle is, that's the actual mud room.
Yeah, right down here.
And so you see where the garage is. There was a door there where you could come in the garage, or there was a door out back.
To the mud, yeah, into the mud room.
And then next to the house, right there where the floor plan is, there was a driveway that went all the way up, and then the neighbor's house was next door. So the driveway was pretty much up to where the mudroom was.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah, and then there was a little tiny fence there, so there was a fence around the back, a privacy fence. So the little girls would have to take the trash out from the kitchen, and then they'd come down these back steps, and they'd come out the back door, and they would come around. Oh, that's the picture I wanted to show you. Yes. Okay, and so they would come out that back door and then see where those vans are. They would walk where those vans are, and then they bring the trash out and put the trash around on the other side. Because you couldn't,
Yeah, the vans.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see how bad that road is now, Paradox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a fucked up road. This is like the road on the side of the house. And this is the main.
He's like, look at that. But look how close the house is.
Yeah.
So the house there on the right is where Elizabeth Ayers and Adam Ayers, which is Josh Ayers' nephew, lived. And if you look at Adam Ayers' record, which I did today, his case, it looks like that he got out in June or July of 2015 out of jail or prison, out of prison from harming Elizabeth. So I don't believe, and I was told by a very good source, he was not living in that home with Elizabeth.
Well, he was there that day, right?
He was there that night, but I was told
excuse me, correct.
Yes, I was told that he had not been living there. So I you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't verify anything because those people don't talk.
No, they don't, and I don't blame them for that. And
nobody will say anything. That Courtney Dons, I reached out to her, and she won't talk to me either.
Such a cutie.
Everybody immediately threw Galen under the bus.
This is kind of like I already showed this.
Yeah, that's not cool at all.
No, there's a bunch of photos.
That's the mud. Okay, so those photos right there are the photos that Mike Vergon took, which was ATF. Yes. Why he has that circled there, which that was the light switch, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a light switch. Yeah, I'm confused
But
about
that's
that as well.
That's his circling, and all the red marks. I think that was from Tara.
Yeah, I believe so. And it's kind of directing you And how,
She's trying
because
to point
the
out the
stairs
point.
in the center part here. I'll
Now,
use
do
my
you see
mouse
where that wood is right there over the window that was broken out?
right here. Yes.
Yeah, that's a broken out window. Something could
Yeah.
have been easily thrown through that window. They didn't
Was
have to enter the house. Galen was in the very front of the house. You may
Wait,
not
go
even
back
have
to the
heard that.
floor plan real quick.
All
Paradox.
three of these are upstairs, correct?
No, this is downstairs. That's that mud room out back. Go to the floor plan again.
Well, the center one, there's definitely stairs going up here.
That's going out back to the garage.
Oh, I see. This is the okay. I get what you're going
Yeah.
at.
See, there's the floor plan. See, and Galen's bedroom was way up here.
It's right here.
Yeah, and
correct?
see where
Okay.
she has that double red marks, and she's pointing at that picture in that window. That's
Oh,
the
I
window.
see.
Yeah.
See, I get fucked up about everything. You know this, but
Yeah, and I know you're fine. But go so see how far back that would be from Galen's bedroom.
Mhm.
I mean, I sleep like a log. I don't know if I would hear somebody. I sleep
Yeah.
upstairs. You know, I don't know. But
And where my mouse is actually the stairs to go upstairs.
So what
Okay,
were they
so-
saying in that? There's like he said something in that news clip that we watched about like some other weird staircase. Like you had to go
It's
up
there
the
on the
stairs.
side of the house. Go back
Right
to that
here.
other picture.
Oh, I can. Oops, my bad here.
No, you're good.
No, you corrected me because
You
this
can
is
show the
down
one
at
in my
the
house
mudroom.
too. I decorated it so cute.
I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah.
like where's this other little weird hole in the wall that had stairs go up to another level. It almost
Right
made it
there.
seem like it had a third story.
No.
No, it's only
So
two.
the mudroom kind of goes upstairs down here. I don't know if you can see this.
That goes to a downstairs.
Yeah,
See where?
the
Okay, see
mudroom
where?
goes up
Okay.
though, right?
No. That
It
point,
goes
what you're
down?
pointing at, are stairs going to the basement, and then go back to
Oh,
the other
shit.
stairs. Go
Okay.
back to the other stairs.
See, this is why I love Kathy because she corrects me on everything.
Yeah, that's stairs going to the basement, what is circled. And then
Yeah.
if you look to the right, there's that stairs there.
Oh,
that
I
went
see.
up into the mudroom. And then there's the window to the right. And then what your pointer
Alright.
was is the door going in the kitchen.
Yeah, right here.
So
Yeah,
what's
that's
the
Okay,
door
so this is
what's
going to
that
the
have like a
basement.
weird door though? Like a door with had stairs behind the door.
That
They
was
showed it
this
in that
over
news
here. The girls is right here. I wish I had the pointer.
Well,
wish
okay,
you
so the girls are up here in the second floor.
Okay, but
I know
yeah,
that.
See the steps on the first plan, the floor plan?
Right here.
And then if you look over to the right, that's the same steps. There's a landing, and then it goes right, and then that, and it goes in the girls' bedroom, the only
So
bedroom.
where were these? It looked like they opened a door and it had stairs.
Right there, where his
Correct.
pointer is.
Yeah, right here.
So there's more stairs to get into the bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah,
was two
there's a
landings.
landing. There's a window here.
No, that was where it was blocked off.
Oh shit! All right, see, this is why I love you, Kathy. You fucking
Yeah,
help me
that's
out
where it
so
was
much.
blocked off.
Where was it blocked off?
Right here.
Right there. That was
Like-
blocked off. If you go back to the pictures, that's as soon as you go up the
That's
stairwell.
this one, right?
No, keep going to the stairwell. Keep going back. Keep going. Nope, that's mudroom. Keep going. Oh, girls, pretty. Oh,
I
girls,
love 'em.
pretty. Wait. Oh, my house. Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck that up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, keep going.
I think all those are the girls. Let me go forward. Actually.
Okay. Oh, yes. It might have been forward. Yeah. Keep backwards. Yeah. Not that.
Oh.
See-
Oh, this is
oh.
the parade. We haven't showed that one, but
Oh, that's the parade we were in.
yeah,
It's sending you stuff.
man, I know it's crazy. I do apologize. I thought this was blocked off.
No, you're fine.
Here,
You're
hold
fine.
It's okay. We understand.
I don't. I'm gonna show you guys this
There was
picture if
a-
I can get my computer to work.
When you're looking through the dining room there, you look straight up those steps and you would
These ones?
see that landing and a wall. And on that landing, Teresa, up on the very top ceiling is where that smoke detector was.
Oh, you
You
know
can wear
what? I don't
batteries.
have those photos ready, and I didn't get them
Oh,
ready.
you don't? I have them on my
No.
phone, but I'm afraid
It's
what I'm going to
fine.
send you.
Yeah, I know. No shit, right? I'm so sorry, Kathy.
I'm just messing with you. I don't give a shit.
I didn't mean to do
People have
that.
heard me scream on the. Yeah, I don't care.
I
No,
can
I'm
stop.
not. I mean,
Can
like,
you switch out the. Hold on.
yeah.
Because I'm pretty damn sure I
See that
sent you
stairwell
everything.
there?
T?
Can you switch this one out
The
real quick? Can
stairwell
you
on
switch
the
out the
side.
my screen?
I can't.
No,
I can.
not you.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Thank you.
You guys,
I'll
Okay, go
stop
for it.
sharing.
It's on there. Just have to add it.
that's it. That's your stairwell going upstairs.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So the-
yeah, that one. Yep.
Off to the left here, over here, this is Galen's room,
That's
correct?
Galen's. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
On the left.
So,
Yeah.
this,
Galen's
so it
bedroom.
did. It had a weird doorway to go up the stairs.
Yes.
That's weird to me.
Yes. Well, it's
my
because
house
it was
is
an
like
old
that,
house.
too. Yep, I got an old farmhouse and it's like that.
Mhm.
And this is not drywall. I want to keep. People should keep
that's,
this in mind.
that's,
This is
what do you call
not
that?
drywall.
Sheetrock,
It's
plaster, and
actually
lath.
slath. It's slath and lath. Essentially, what you do is you have a bunch of little boards and you plaster over it, Dan. It's like an earlier
Yeah,
version of sheetrock or
horsehair
drywall.
plaster, baby.
Yep. So
Okay.
Poured
this
enough of
is
it
a
out of my
tinder
house.
box inherently, and this is also Bloom Construction. And I wish we had a fire dude to talk about this, but I did speak to several years ago. This was it's a little tinder box, man. Well, not little, but a big one.
Oh, I have pictures when they were tearing it down, and I took
Mhm.
pictures of about every step of them tearing that house down. You guys wouldn't believe what kind of tinderbox it really was. Okay, when it
No,
was
I
being
get
teared.
it. I really
mean,
do. I
just
saw
the
some of the photos
rooms.
you sent. There's actually the fire alarm right there on the
Yeah.
stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So
that's it. And I believe that whoever did it had to know how to get in the house. For one, because
you said it started near the mudroom, right?
it started in the mudroom. I think that whole pictures you just showed was exactly where they believe it started, because that's where the most burn. I'm sure. Yeah, and see where that is.
That's
That
where
circle.
that'd be the fire detector right there that fell,
yeah, that was
or
the
was it never
very.
placed up there?
Yeah, that was the top of the stairs.
And then you go in this door, and that's the girls' room.
Yep.
Okay. So can we talk about where all the hot spots were then that they found? Okay. Actually, I should backtrack that. Can you talk about how long? Because it was first ruled accidental, like it was probably they thought it was an electric fire or something along those lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long until it was changed to an arson? What was? Tell me, explain that.
The only statement that we saw that actually changed it, in my opinion, and I don't know everybody's statements, but was from one of the police officers that kind of passed out inside the house. Am I incorrect here, Kathy, so far?
No, You're
okay, and it's actually within all the files. I'll just send you everything I have, T. It was within their file. What was his name again?
Are we talking about Denny Randall?
Yeah, because he went in there, and he's an officer that passed the fuck out, and he, in my opinion, is a hero.
Oh no, that's Drew Yoder.
Drew, okay, there it is. It's from his statement that they determined that this was an arson. It's not necessarily based off of, as far as I know, not really based off of any information.
So November 21st, and so I have talked to I've talked to someone, Steve Brown, the reporter that you guys just saw. He's moving and he's going somewhere else. So I just talked to him here recently, and he was filling me in on some information. And so one thing that I did not know, and he did tell me that while the house was still hot, still they were in the basement looking for a meth lab.
Yeah, you told me that. I'm still not sure why.
I'm not sure why either.
Oh, T's gone.
So yeah, that was one of the things I thought was strange. And then right after they swept the house out, the very next, well, that same day, was it the same day? No.
I thought it was
Yeah,
later,
very
but
next day, the very
yeah.
next day after, Galen's uncle and aunt came and went in the house and got her purse and stuff from her bedroom. So the house was never secured. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And then it was January 29th is when Denny Randall put out the statement that it was ruled an arson. And then you had all those other statements coming out after it saying, oh, we told him not to put that out, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there was like a fight over, you had insurance people coming in and saying, no, that's not,
Yeah, and obviously it was the ATF. No, it wasn't the ATF. It was an insurance company that rolled it an arson, correct?
No, it was actually Denny Randall. He was the arson investigator, which is Adam Randall's dad, and Adam
Yeah.
Randall was the fire chief in Flora, and
And
Denny Randall was he worked for the state, and he was an arson investigator.
okay, and then anytime there's an arson within the U.S., the ATF is involved. So the ATF agreed with that agent or those people. So
Yeah, Tipton. He
yeah,
was Jeff Tipton's deposition. Jeff Tipton, I believe he's from the homeowners insurance. He was the investigator for them. He was concerned that Denny Randall, the fire marshal's deposition, he was concerned about it. He was concerned about what Denny was saying. I think Denny put out a statement that there was many points that
Right.
it was found, and that wasn't true. It wasn't true. I believe
Well,
that
I
there
was a
was
little confused
one
about that
point.
myself, Kathy. I was really confused.
Yeah, that was part of the original statement that Denny Randall put out, was that there was many places of where it caught fire. I don't know how to say that right. I don't.
Points of where the fire started. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think
And
that's true.
Jeff Tipton, which was the investigator for the auto owners insurance, which I believe that is the insurance company that had the $500,000 policy on it.
Well, I can look real quick.
Is Tipton also the one that was like what? There was one of the fire investigators that worked for like both. That worked for two parties in the lawsuit, right? Like he worked for one company and then he like worked for a different company or something. So he
started his own.
Yeah, Mike Vergon worked for ATF and then he started his own company.
Vergon, okay.
Yeah, Vergon, Mike Vergon, yes.
I can't bring up that document. I do apologize, but I'll send all of it to T anyways.
Teresa said her computer froze, so she's just restarting it and she'll be back in here.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that and that's when it started as the arson. Like Galen, like nobody knew. Like I called Jackie called Galen's grandma, and then we all got a hold of Galen, so look, Jinx said multiple points of origin. I love her. She always helps me with my words.
She's quick as a whip right there.
She is too, especially she is. And so that's when the controversy started. And then I mean, like right after that, then you had everybody that just started quitting. They just start quitting their jobs, like just left and right. I love you too, Jinx. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I wish Jinx would, because she's more intelligent than I am.
Oh, she's been out running for the past couple of days. I don't know. Not really running, but
I was like,
around.
okay. He's all
No, not really.
training for a marathon.
Like, yeah,
I
like
feel bad for her. If that's
exactly. It's cold as hell outside too. Unless she's in Australia.
Okay, so look, I'm going to read off of Tara's work here. Tara's work. I never knew how to say her name right.
Tara.
So
Tara.
Tara, I'm giving her credit for all this. It says after 10 weeks of investigating, Randall and his team released a report ruling the fire was set intentionally. Arsonists found in several locations of the structure. The fire was still considered arson, but state police now admit accelerants were not found all over the house. Rather, there was only one spot. One day after Fox exposed the mistake, Randall resigned. Resigned, citing personal reasons. So conflicts in the case. In 2014, Dennis Randall was convicted. His wife was convicted of stealing from a farm account in Carroll County. The state trooper investigating her and interviewing Randall as part of the investigation was Trooper Greg Edwards. Edwards is the same detective who was assigned to investigate the Flora case. The man who collected evidence against Randall's wife was a few years ago now working on the same case with him. Let's see. From Carter. I'm just kind of reading some of Tara's notes. They're so good.
Yeah, they really are. She actually did a really good job. She reopened the Reddit page. I'll throw a link.
She did?
Yeah, she did.
I don't want to have to say, but I had to steal a couple things off of there because I knew she had them.
Oh yeah, I mean she has a lot of good work product, not just on the Reddit page, but
yeah, whistleblower letter, fire devastation.
The whistleblower letter, and
okay. Let's talk about the whistleblower letter real quick then. T, did you hear what I said? You probably didn't. It came out as November 21st was the fire, and it was January 29th when Denny Randall decided to put that out. And then there was a controversy about him saying something about all the places of where it was started at.
Adam Randall had the controversy, or Dennis Randall had the controversy?
Dennis Randall had the controversy.
Okay, so it was originally accidental from November until January of 2017?
No, it was undetermined.
Undetermined until January of 2017.
Yes.
Okay. And then he said there was like 4 spots and it ended up only being like 1, right?
Yes, 1 spot. Only 1 spot. Yes. So
in the mudroom.
Yes. Well, now, Teresa.
I actually count it as a damn stove is what they took pictures of, so I don't know.
Nobody will tell us that it was in the mudroom. I mean, they won't tell us no information. This is the information that we got from the civil case, Teresa, and we've made our own whatever Tara did here. She just, put stuff together like what you would do to try to figure it out. Because they don't confirm nothing. They tell us nothing.
So when did we find out that there was actually only 1 spot of origin?
Through the deposition is when go ahead, Jinx.
The civil suit, that's when all that information came out.
Yeah.
Because that's when the report came on.
So for multiple years, everybody thought there was multiple points of origin?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
It just came out. Like Teresa, like for how many ever years it is, I've been fighting for information. I beg, steal, borrow, whatever it takes to get something. Until this civil suit settled, there was nothing. And that's why I worked with Tara and the others, because my desperation to get answers. And when I saw them post in a Facebook group, the girls' autopsy reports, it blew me away because none of that stuff was ever public. And I was like, oh my God. And I reached out to that person. And then that's how I met Tara and everyone else. And that's how all this information through Paradox and everybody came out. I mean, I'm so grateful for them for this information, because without them helping get it through the civil suit,
Well, the civil suit, I can say Tara was paying $5 a page for. So when I was able to get everything for free, I did, and I gave it to everybody. It was on Reddit. I mean, I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have people like you guys. So
yeah.
that's
So
how.
everything we know, like the auto insurance group, how much money was this, that, it just came out when the civil suit, when they were able to start getting documents from the civil suit.
Yeah.
Paradox,
Shit.
you have all the documents from the civil suit?
Yeah, I do.
I
I
might
can send
just
them to you in an unformatted version.
Yeah, I'll talk to
Um,
you behind the scenes and get that from you.
yeah, I'm gonna send them to Teresa anyways. I think everybody has them, but they're named, and I have the unnamed versions, so they're kind of fucked up, and they're like, here, let me
Well,
grab.
the ones in the spreadsheet are named because I named them.
And
So
you
they
did a
were all just
fine job.
they were just numbers and letters and whatever. I just renamed them so they made
Oh,
sense to me.
okay. So I actually have named court documents that the attorney did for me. I love her. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't have. I guess that's kind of where I'm stuck at. Is
Yeah, because these
I don't know
names
what
are
I'm
like
missing.
196.1, 196.2. They don't
Yeah,
make
I
any
renamed
fucking
all of
sense.
them.
Okay,
Because
then I'll.
there's absolutely documents that I'm missing. I can tell because there's responses from attorneys, like from the I'll just an example, like there's responses from a defense attorneys to something that the plaintiff's attorneys put in, but there's
Okay.
no original document from the plaintiff for them to be responding to. So like I know I'm missing things, I just don't know what I'm missing.
Yeah, and Teresa, I can tell you right now, I don't have everything. But I'll send everything I have to you, James.
Perfect.
Well, only because if you look at a civil case that started in 2017 and went to 2023, there is a lot of documents. That's
Yeah,
what
and I got them
that
in
one thing I sent you, Teresa. That is a list of the
2022.
documents. Oh,
Yeah,
that's one you probably couldn't open. Sorry, T.
That's okay.
no, I'll send Jinx and you all the shit that I have. I don't care. I'm gonna have to put it.
No, I'm just
Unfortunately, it's too
trying to.
big for me to
I'm just
send
going to
through
gather
like.
everything that I can so that I can help share it out to any creator that wants to talk about Flora.
Well,
I would
thank you.
love for anybody to talk about Flora, and if I can give them all the information, then I would be glad to do that.
Yeah,
That's why I'm trying
absolutely.
to put all the documents into one spreadsheet so that it's like easy
Yeah, I
access.
thought you had everything, T, but I could be wrong. And
Okay.
unfortunately, it's thousands of pages, and I'll admit I don't have all of it
It
in my
doesn't
memory.
matter. Send me whatever you have, and I'll
Okay.
double check it versus what I already put in there.
Yeah, and then I'll send you that police report again because
I have that one.
it's.
I just didn't realize that Colton Creasy's was in there. I just
Oh
thought he
yeah,
had a
it's
separate.
a
I thought he
big
had a separate
portion.
interview.
No, it's in there.
Okay, I have that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I made very certain that you got that one because
Yeah, thank you.
a lot of people I understand don't have that. It's redacted. You go through like Jennifer Barnes is on there, and Jennifer Barnes is a convicted murderer. Shit like that.
That was it's like when I was telling Savannah that I wanted to come on and like straighten up some of the things that like weren't okay. So when we talk about Jennifer Barnes, and then there was two people that lived upstairs from Jennifer Barnes, and I'm not going to bring up their names quite right away, but what back when nobody we thought was investigating this, and I'm 100% sure everyone knows this, and to me it doesn't make much difference. Me and Aunt Jackie contacted the FBI here in Indianapolis. So then we met with two agents at the IHOP. Can you believe that? In Lafayette. One was Ryan Lingram, and Tara knew about that. He's actually one of the FBI agents that was in that shootout in Terre Haute, which has nothing to do with this. But anyway, when we met with him, the only information that I had to give to him is what Jennifer Barnes told me, okay, which was the upstairs neighbors. I also had other people that had told me the same thing about the upstairs neighbors. Okay. I had some collaborations from messages people sent me that I gave to the FBI agents. We had some notes from some women that, after the fires, and not lie, Jackie got pulled over for a DUI. She was, because, and so she was in the little Carroll County jail. And there was a couple of them young girls were in there that knows some of these people around here. And they swore out statements, okay, saying it was that person that lives upstairs and that other person, and then that one person's dad too. Okay. And so all these letters and everything that we had, all these original documents, all these police reports, that all the originals I have right here, I gave to the FBI, all that. Okay. So it's like that did happen. I want people to know that I did meet with him, Ryan Lindgren. After that, we didn't hear anything. So is the FBI investigating it? They could be. They could be,
Yeah.
They could be. I don't know if they're not. I don't know that they didn't. Could be. I don't know. But we went to them with that information. I just wanted to make sure, because I know there was a lot of misinformation about that poor Ryan Lindgren FBI agent guy.
Yeah.
I don't think whatever happened in Terre Haute over that, whatever happened down there and him killing that guy, I don't think it had anything to do with the Flora case.
Seen me, him.
Yeah, that one.
Nutcase.
Yes, that one. Just because I met with Ryan Lindgren didn't mean that the Flora case and those cases were involved in each other. It was just the agent that they sent to talk to me and Jackie. That was it. I just want to make sure. I just try.
No.
I just want to clear up things that people like.
Misconceptions is actually one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight, actually.
Do what? Misconception? Yeah. Well, Patrick Westfall was another one. Somebody kept saying that Galen knew him, and I when I was just with her 2 weeks ago, I showed her pictures of all them in the backyard, that picture, and she's never seen none of them before in her life, does not recognize them. But if I showed her the picture of this one person's dad, she would say, oh, that dickhead used to come in the gas station and throw money at me.
Right.
And he wasn't being nice. So see, she does remember people. It's not that she doesn't. Somebody spread a rumor around that her daughter got into a fight with Patrick Westfall's daughter. That's not true either. Galen's daughter had a little scuffle on the bus with somebody, but was it Patrick Westfall's daughter? No, nobody. The man didn't live there very long. He moved around a lot, you guys. So it was real hard for his kids to be with kind of, Galen did not know him. She never met him. She never saw him. So that was another misconception right there. I was trying to think if there was any other. Oh, and the one about Adam Ayers, because I was told, and I'm almost 100% sure he was not living there, because if you look at the record and why he was in jail, I don't think he was living with Elizabeth.
Okay.
And if you look at him in the picture, he was fully dressed in that dash cam.
Yeah, actually he was, and we didn't play that, but I recall that, yeah.
Yes. He had his tennis shoes on. So somebody that woke up in the middle of the night with a fire had their tennis shoes, pants, and everything on. Did you notice that too?
which is odd. Um, I mean, I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. I'm not saying that at all. It's just odd. One of those things that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Also, Jinx and T, I got the links in the private chat in the StreamYard.
Perfect. I just grabbed them. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And one was originally how it was sent to me. The other one is renamed. Use whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay.
Does anybody else have anything that they want to talk about besides we're going tomorrow, me and Jinx, and decorate their graves for Christmas?
Oh, thank you so much. Jinx, I did actually steal a photo that Kathy gave me from the
You
October.
son thieving bastard. I don't care.
I know. I thought you wouldn't care. Yeah, it was published earlier. Thank you for doing that.
Share away. Any of my
Yeah, they
Flora
looked really nice.
Paradox, you are more than welcome to share away. I would love to spread the word as much as possible.
Yeah. Anything you can do to help with that. And,
So where do you guys feel like this investigation is at now? Like, what do you think's happening? Is it just sitting there? Is anybody actually doing anything with it? Do you guys have any inclination on what's happening?
I'll go
it's just
first.
sitting
I'm
there.
about to piss some people off. I don't even think it was an arson. So that's how I feel.
You think it was accidental?
I think it was an electrical fire.
Stemmed from what?
Then I know I'm gonna like I said, I just pissed a bunch of people off. I really think
Here, I
it was
was
an
going to play
electrical
something for you guys. This is Holman. God, Kathy, I can't do anything right. Hold on. I just clipped it from a news, and this was right after the fire, where he says they have. Oh, hold on, let me turn it up. See if it works.
But I think what the community wants to know is, are we still actively pursuing the persons responsible for this? And yes, we are.
He says ISP has 2 detectives assigned to this investigation full time.
And yes, we do have solid persons of interest in this case.
But he also believes there are people withholding information.
It's very frustrating for the family, very frustrating for the community of Flora, and very frustrating for us.
Holman says people need to overcome their fear.
And know that we will help them remain anonymous if they have information that will help us put the people behind bars that are responsible for this horrible crime.
So
I think you're the one that just played that, right?
Yeah, I did. I just clipped that from a 2017 news story from WLFI. Okay, so 2017, they said they had persons of interest.
Persons, multiple, yeah.
Persons.
I
of
still
interest.
don't think. Man, I just don't know, and I'll
So
always be proven wrong about my thoughts, and I have been in the past, and I always will be. But I just don't see. I guess I'll say this, T. If this was intentionally set, I definitely don't think those 4 girls were a target at all. I just don't.
You think Galen was, or just the house itself?
I think just the house itself, if anything.
And wait,
Who was the one that determined that it went from undetermined to arson? Who made that? Who made that decision?
It was Denny Randall, the arson investigator. Yeah, it was his decision.
And when did he leave?
Huh?
Approximately
When did he quit?
About 6 months after he declared it an arson, and then Adam Randall resigned about a month after that.
Yeah, and the ATF confirmed it was an arson, so I'm like, that's where I'm kind of mixed on this. But at the same time, I don't know what they know. So
alleged accelerant. I shouldn't
They
say
never
alleged. What did they say?
no, let's not go into that.
Your guess.
They never declared the accelerant at all whatsoever. They also said that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Dan's guess is as good as anybody else's on the panel. What is the accelerant?
Yeah, I mean, it could exactly. So, I mean, but you don't know.
No,
that
yeah.
was-
I
kind
didn't
of
mean it
have
as
an
a gotcha
understanding,
thing.
but it's only the things the killer would know, and I'm not going to release any of that shit. So,
yep,
just period, not happening. Because that's the
In
only
Doug
way.
Carter's
Like,
statement, Doug
Go ahead.
Carter says every time he has an interview. And he just said it again right before he retires. He said it back in 2017 after the Holman thing. He says it every time. Doug Carter believes that the person or persons that set this fire did not intend to kill the girls.
I don't. Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with Doug Carter. I normally don't, but I agree with
So-
him.
I don't
on
understand how that makes sense. When if you know people are inside the home and you
Well, they
purposely
didn't.
put an accelerant
Because
inside of the home
where
and then you light it on fire, I don't know how you're not purposely trying to kill anybody that's in the home.
T
Were they supposed to be out of town?
were they home the last 3 days? Is the question.
They were gone
Yeah, but
at the cheerleading competition,
Okay.
and they were at Aunt Jackie's. Thursday they were just there, like practicing and getting their hair done. Friday night they were there and they spent the night, and then they left really, really early Saturday morning. The competition was in Fort Wayne, and it went on up until late. They didn't get home until, after they ate, the whole family, probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Sunday, Galen, I believe she worked in the morning, but I don't think anybody knew that they were home. The car always sit out front because she couldn't drive it, because she had been pulled over because she was driving on that permit.
Yeah, and what's his name pulled her over? I can't recall right now.
Drew Yoder, the
Yeah,
same
okay.
one that tried to go in and save the girls.
Yeah, and a lot of
Yes.
people don't know that. And
No.
her car was always sitting out front for once. I'm assuming now.
Well, that
I don't want to say
Halloween
that
picture,
factually.
the Halloween picture where Galen has been in the car talking to the officer with the girls, that's also Drew Yoder too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would come in the gas station too. I mean, a lot of people will tell you that Galen had the biggest smile,
Well, I can tell through the photos you sent me that she did.
and that people would look at Galen and, well, how can you be so happy, and the smile, and how Galen would make you feel. That's what kind of person she is. Like, she just like has that ability to make you feel better,
Lord have mercy. You can feel her smiling when you talk to her on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say you talk to her for 5 minutes and it lights everything up.
Yeah, it really does, man. It was
Can I get-
actually on your channel, Dan, and I wasn't there for it. I was listening though. Just her speak and fucking lit my day up,
So are we thinking then that that people thought that they weren't home and that's why they weren't a target?
I agree
Yeah.
with that statement.
But like,
that's why when people try to say that it was a hate crime, I said, how can it be a hate crime if they she wasn't even home? They don't even think she was home.
Wouldn't you assume that they'd be home though, because there's school like the next day?
That's what I think. That's what I think. I think that they knew. I mean, how would they not know? I mean, they knew the girls had school. I mean, Monday, kids had school the next day.
Yeah.
Jinx or Kathy, did they often stay over at their Aunt Jackie's or anything? Even during the week?
No. Nah.
Okay.
They were in and out. I mean, Galen was only there, guys, from the end of May. So,
You
so
said
the
6
reason
months she was in that house up to a year.
Well, she was there less than 6 months because, in the state of Indiana, it is the landlord's responsibility to maintain the smoke detectors up to 6 months. After 6 months, it was Galen's responsibility. That's why she was able to do the civil suit, because she hadn't lived there 6 months and there was only one smoke detector.
And then we've had a couple questions about like the lost evidence or like something like that. Can you touch on that?
So what happened was, at some point when they turned the investigation over to the Indiana State Police, because what is his name, Ives, turned it over to the Indiana State Police, and then they ended up doing a peer review. Well, at some point, all the attorneys and they met there at the place, and supposedly there was a smoke detector found behind the microwave 5 years later. Really?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
How did we miss that? Okay, so that was part in the civil case. That was one of the things that that was one thing I got to hear, was the judge cross-examine their lawyer and ask how, and just kind of looked at him. So all that evidence that they're saying, that smoke detector or anything else that the insurance company had, is gone. It was
Wait, the physical smoke detector is missing?
All the physical evidence.
yes.
All the
Because
physical evidence is missing?
Correct.
yes, there was
Well, we
a
have photos. That's it.
Yes.
yeah.
That's all we
So
But
got.
there
there's
really wasn't like
where
there was
did it go?
well, anything the state still has what they have, but the other evidence that they say, the other smoke detector or whatever, was in a storage locker in Michigan that didn't get paid for.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
accurate. They couldn't get paid for in the storage locker, and the
Yeah.
company that owns the storage locker got rid of it.
See,
Threw it
T,
out. You know?
this is why I need to speak to Kathy and Jinx. I don't remember a whole lot, unfortunately.
Well,
And
why would anything be stored in Michigan?
Because that's where the auto insurance group was
Yeah.
from.
But
And
that doesn't have anything to do with anything. They're not the investigators on the case.
but their investigator had the second smoke detector, and the other evidence that they were saying was in the apartment. Anything that didn't get taken by the state, like the second smoke detector that was 5 years later, or anything else that they were claiming was in the storage locker, that all the documents, all that's gone.
you
I
got to
don't even
remember,
understand
T,
that.
you got to remember, this was not originally investigated as an arson.
But
It was
it was ruled an arson within 2 months.
quick, but
So they would have gone and
also
taken, if
tried to
say
say
the
they found a
insurance
smoke
company was going to look at it, the insurance company is going to look at it to see if they're going to pay out the insurance on the house, right? So they're going to take anything they can. They're going to have their investigators come in. Fine. Once it's ruled an arson, then the arson investigators, ATF, the local, they're going to come in and take all of that shit back and say, nope, it's an arson now. You can't have it. I'm
I can
surprised
tell
it would
you
even
they
be
didn't.
released.
T, they didn't.
Well, that's bullshit.
Not
Yeah,
disagreeing
that's what
with you.
we're saying. Like somewhere in the transition when it got switched over from Carroll County to Indiana State Police, that's when the evidence that the insurance company had in Michigan suddenly came at Michigan. You see what I'm saying?
How did the insurance company even get access to the shit when it was undetermined?
Because that's how it was determined to be an art. No, fuck. You always correct me on this, Kathy. Explain it.
So Jeff Tipton works for homeowners, and he was also he's a fire investigator for the auto owners insurance.
Right.
Okay. And his investigation, like they said, Denny Randall's investigation was incomplete. So like the insurance company had their own investigators and he was it. And so they collected their own stuff and all that's gone. The second smoke detector they said that they found behind the microwave or anything else that the their investigator. Does that make sense, T?
Is that 2 smoke alarms that are gone, or that's 1?
2.
2.
I believe there's
I'm
2.
not
Like
100%.
separately?
No, it might just be the one. It could be just the one, because I would say that first one that the state would have it. I would say, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't speak on that because we don't know for certain. I thought it was both.
I don't know
probably
about
wrong.
the first one. I know 100% sure the second one. And then anything that Jeff Tipton from the investigator, anything, documents, anything that he had is gone.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Because he
documents
worked-
too, that wouldn't be like included in the storage, would it? Like would
It would
Kind
be
of the
anything
problem.
that he investigated.
We don't really have what was in the storage, unfortunately.
Because the storage didn't get paid for and it's gone.
Yeah.
So
That's fucking
and
crazy.
that's what was told to the judge in the civil court.
Yeah,
You
and I
guys,
just sent T and Jinx all the files that I have on, like the civil case, so you can read through it. It's thousands of documents. It takes a while. I still, to this day, haven't read through everything.
If you could I don't know if because it was settlement talks, I don't know that
Is it
if
safe
because it
for
was
me to
open
touch?
court, but when the judge questioned one attorney, which was I think it was Ayers' attorney, and then he questioned Galen's attorney. He questioned Ayers' attorney about all the stuff that was about the second smoke detector, the smoke detector that was missing, and how it was found 5 years later. And the attorney's trying to tell the judge, and this federal judge is sitting up there looking at him like, you really want me to believe that you guys found a second smoke detector 5 years later? Now wait. And now you don't even have it. And all the documentation of anything, you don't have that either because nobody paid for the storage locker. And that
That's
attorney,
fucked up.
yes, I'm telling you, Tara was there. It happened. And then
I know.
then he talks to Galen's attorney, and he was confused about why Galen's attorney come with the Whirlpool, the refrigerator lawsuits, and put all them in the lawsuits first.
And be careful on the grounds you're going into. I know you know what you can or can't speak about, but just be careful, right?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. But he asked him that, and it was because he told them that the Indiana State Police or the investigators would not share information with him, and they didn't know if the fire was electrical or was an arson when they filed the suit.
Right.
And the judge was like, okay. Because her attorney told him that nobody would tell them anything about the investigation.
So we didn't even know they were ruling it an arson until the civil suit.
I mean, Denny
It was told
Randall
to
said it
Galen,
was
I
an
thought.
arson.
I don't know.
Denny Randall said it was an arson with
Okay.
multiple places. Jeff Tipton says, hey, you're wrong. Somebody else came out and said something. There's another letter somebody else said, hey, Denny Randall, this or something. So there was this big controversy. Was it even an arson? So the Indiana State Police came back in and did a peer review and said it was an arson.
Yeah, and the ATF as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple agencies that are higher up than locals that said it was an arson, but it was after the fact.
When was the first time ATF looked at the scene?
After the what's his nuts?
Randall Dennis?
Yeah.
So January of 2017?
I believe that's correct.
Wait, hang on. I got Jeff or Mike Vergon's statement right here. Look at it.
Yeah.
Because it was Mike Vergon that is the one that looked at it.
So, as a normie, if you will, in this case, the 911 audio, is that permanently locked out?
Right now, yeah, Dan.
Or is it just?
It's sealed.
I haven't heard it. Yeah, I can't get it. I've tried and I've tried. But
I remember and that's why I asked, because there was.
Yeah.
Was there some sort of vote, and even the
Fox
town
59
council guy
actually
wanted
sued
it out?
them for it, as I think you know. And they spent, I was corrected on this, $60,000 fucking dollars on attorneys to make sure that it was sealed. And I just simply, earlier in this video, we spoke on a little bit, but I just don't understand the reason. And
It's multiple 911 calls though. It's not just one.
Two.
Yeah, they won't let anybody have either one.
But the transcripts were allowed?
No,
correct?
dude, they didn't. They never even released the transcripts, Dan.
Oh, okay.
No,
the whole call is fucking blacked out to the.
What
Oh,
what is
I don't know.
what is on the back of the 63 pages, T, is just a what do they call that? A narrative of what happened. It's not the actual 911 call, but it tells you the narrative of and what was on when the 911 call came in, who it was, that stuff. What do they call this thing?
Summarization, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Jinx, those links that I sent you are from Ice Drive. They don't. I can't. I'm not a fucking hacker. I don't even know how to do it. They're
well, I'm
just
not
links to
either.
a
I'm just not no
file.
dummy when it comes to links.
No, and Ice Drive is known to be safer than Google, and is in the fact that they don't like share your personal information with people or anything like that. So I will never know if you access it or download it or whatever.
Okay.
Or
Well,
Tisha can just fucking give them to you. I don't care.
I already downloaded them, so
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, just fucking send them, right? I will never know.
okay. Well, since we're talking about the 911 type really fast,
Yeah.
can I just simplify it really quick? What does 911 do?
They're just
Essentially,
a dispatcher. Yeah, they're
Right,
just,
they
they
just
don't
dispatch.
belong to the police.
Exactly. They dispatch.
Yeah.
So if this attorney that worked for Galen at the civil suit said that she got to listen to him and it was a nothing burger, okay, so there's nothing to these 911 calls. If there's nothing on them, then why would they fight so hard to seal them? Well, I mean, the main thing that the 911 does is dispatch it.
Right. That's their job. I mean, that's what
Right.
they're. It
So
is Bill
that
Clinton that fucking made the 911 system
I
what
mean,
it
nobody's
is.
ever brought that up. Wouldn't that possibly be an issue? Was the dispatch of that arson? Like, I mean, of the fire, like
Honestly, I
when
don't
somebody
know.
called 911, how was it dispatched? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, maybe like they fucked around for a minute or something.
Well, I have a
Or
question
like
about
they
that, and I'm glad that you brought it up because I was thinking so Yoder comes to the scene and then he actually leaves and goes to the Flora Fire Department. Why isn't the Flora Fire Department being dispatched out to the house? Why does he even have to go there?
Exactly.
Why aren't they already there? Why aren't they right next to him?
That's why I ask. That's what
wait.
set up a red flag to make me ask. Who was it? Was it improperly dispatched? I
Makes sense
believe
to me.
that it was
Can
improperly
you?
dispatched.
I'm sorry, Jinx and T. What do you mean? He was there, but the fire department wasn't there. Didn't
So
he show up like a first
Dissinger pulls
responder
up.
where he just took his go kit in his vehicle and showed up, not in a fire truck, or did?
No, so
Did they
Yoder's a
dispatch
cop.
the,
So
the police and not the fire department. Did she forget to? Could that happen?
Well,
And is
they're
that
volunteer
why-
out there in Flora, right?
Yeah, they're all volunteer.
So they have to all either, unless they have it ready to go, they have to. Just speaking from where I live, they have to show up. They have to go to the station, get their stuff ready, and go. If he was already ready and had stuff in his car, he just took off and went right there. That's how it works in the municipality I live in.
And that's how we
I don't
had
know
a
how it works
volunteer
in Florida.
officer that fucking got into the damn building.
Or if they're calling each other and he's like, I got a go kit, or I got a suit, I got a tank. You guys.
he
get to
didn't.
the
He went and
station
got it all.
Yeah,
That's what he went to Flora to get.
Yep.
Well,
He went
back
to the
up, y'all,
station
back
and
up,
got
back
it, and then drove his personal vehicle out to the.
Back up for a second, though, because Dysinger was the first one on scene,
Yeah.
technically reported.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He didn't have any of his equipment with him. He was a Flora police department officer, is what he was.
And he was
He
also
the
a
first one on
volunteer
scene.
firefighter, my
He
understanding.
was a volunteer firefighter, but that was for another township.
Oh shit!
They call
How
him.
the hell did he
They
have
call.
keys
They
then?
call. No, they call them all though. They may. They may be. I don't know. Are you guys?
He was with Camden, is what he was. Okay, and the second on scene was Drew Yoder. He's a Carroll County sheriff, deputy sheriff. He showed up. He realized that the fire department wasn't there. He was the one who was questionable about it, so he went to the fire station. And from the sounds of it, it sounded like he woke that guy up as a volunteer who was staying overnight at the Flora Fire Department. It sounded like he woke that guy up. So who did that dispatch officer dispatch this fire out to? Is my question.
Yeah,
The
I
first
don't
one
know
is
their procedure.
with Josh Dysinger, who's a Flora city officer or Flora, police officer for the
Yeah,
city.
he would
Kathy,
have been.
is that something you can get your local county's procedure for dispatching emergency? Can you call the county and
No,
ask how
mean,
they?
I
no,
could
because
probably
that.
get that offline, honestly. I mean, that's got to be like in their rules and regulations of how they follow, their procedures. Their procedures, I'm sure, are somewhere online. I could probably find
I
that.
just I
Well,
just
it
meant
says it
from
in this.
the
It says it in this
year.
thing here when they were dispatched, right here in
Mhm.
this thing that you're reading, this little narrative thing. But the thing of it is okay. Is that why that the town of Flora had an attorney on Galen's civil suit was because they thought that they done something wrong?
And I'm
Is
thinking
what
it's because they dispatched it wrong.
File 1 MP3. I didn't actually
because
know
the
that file
dispatcher is
existed.
the one that didn't
And
want
then
it
2.
released.
Exactly.
Oh, and now
That's
that was
the
another
reason.
question. Is your dispatcher a private entity out there, or is it
No, her name was
affiliated with the?
Hankins. I just tell everybody's name, don't I? I don't care anymore.
No, it
Cass
was a
Some
it is a
Hankins.
private entity, Dan, to answer your question.
Or is it like?
No,
Is it separate from the
it's
sheriff's
part of the
department,
sheriff's
or?
department. No,
Okay,
it's part of the sheriff's department.
Oh, is it really?
911.
so they're employed by the sheriff. That's how it is here too.
Yes.
Holy
That's how
shit!
it is.
I
Yes.
thought I was very
I thought it
certain.
was separate too.
Okay,
No,
well, I learned
No.
everything. Like this.
911 is
Fucking talk to
employed by
people.
the sheriff's department.
I can
They
tell you it's
sure
not that
are.
way here, so that's why I guess I was confused.
Yeah, I'd heard the opposite, Cassie, but where I live, it's all in house with the sheriff's department, so it
okay.
didn't make too much sense.
Because I even actually knew a
And it's a horrible
dispatcher.
job too.
Yeah, it is.
And when they dispatch, they might dispatch like the police would be dispatched separately than the fire department. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know how
Generally,
that works.
on something like that, they automatically call all first
Both.
responders,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
police,
Yeah.
fire.
Generally, we're talking about policies and
Yep.
procedures. Now, were those followed is the question.
I
And
don't
that's
know if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were,
none
James.
of
That
us
I
part
know.
mean,
was.
nobody's
We can
gonna
only
know though.
speculate.
That's the problem.
Is there a no? And that's what I was getting at. Is there a log of the dispatching stuff in that civil suit or anything? Or
That's
no?
what I believe. That's what he's showing is the
Okay.
log for the
This
log for the
is
dispatch.
only log
This-
I
we have.
apologize.
This is I think Tara's like work product right here, but maybe it's not because I don't know what these
No.
numbers look like.
This is
That's
from
the
civil
lawsuit?
suit. That's
Okay.
from the 63 page. That's the last pages of the 63 pages.
Yeah.
See.
That was
Yeah,
what we
'cause
were
I
looking
read
for,
this.
T.
But it says right here that this is an MP3 file. So
Well,
doesn't
there's
that
two.
mean that?
1 and 2. Yes, there's 2 phone calls being
So
made.
wouldn't that be the actual phone calls?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It would be.
Right.
We don't have
But
them.
they're not telling you what the phone calls are saying. What nobody
Well,
says.
they are. They're saying that like
it does.
This one says at 1:05, at 1 minute and 5 seconds into this first call, that into track, the dispatcher says they are toning the fire department.
Right.
Oh, that's probably yeah.
What the hell
one
does that
makes sense,
mean?
right?
Wait, that means
Toning
they're
is
calling
like
them.
the little bebop thing that they do over the fucking radios to wake people
So
up.
so it doesn't mean anybody answered.
No.
Sorry, what was that?
Not necessarily.
So toning is like they're just pushing buttons to alert
Well,
the
yeah.
fire department. That doesn't mean that anybody responded to the call.
No,
Correct.
it'll be on their fucking shit that they have at home.
I will also say that these guys that do the volunteer fire department generally, they're all freaking uber excited to have that radio go off. Not for a fire like a house fire, but they want
Let
to
me
go.
grab a tone call here real quick.
Yes,
don't
and
share my
Flora
screen
does use the same dispatch as Delphi.
Those are
Yes,
their
I just read that.
they're also a lot of those guys are their EMTs or paramedics too. So they're gonna respond to everything. My
Because-
brother-in-law's one where I live, and yeah, they're all about it. They want to toss that light on top of their vehicle and get rolling.
Our 911 is part of our sheriff's department, and Flora, Camden, Burlington, and Delphi are all part of Carroll County. So the 911 is part of the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department takes care of the county. Then you actually have the city police here in Delphi. Flora also has the city police, and that's what Drew Yoder and Dysinger were city police for Flora. their jobs were Flora City Police, but then they both are volunteer firefighters for another community. So was Drew Yoder.
Cassie, at that station, do they ever stay in the station at that? Is it big enough that they stay in the station, or are they all at home all the time?
You know, that station I don't know a lot about because it's very small and it's attached to the city building. So like on the back half of the building is the fire department, and then the front half of the building is the city, you know? And so like with Delphi, no one ever, like we don't normally have somebody that's manning the fire station that I know of. My best friend, her husband was a volunteer here in Delphi. I know that he would have a radio besides the bed, and he would keep his boots and his pants like right there, so like he would just swing out of bed and step into them and pull them up, put the straps on, and he would, you know, run out, get in the truck, slap the blue light on, and he was gone.
Yep.
You know, and so that's what I know. And the toning would be, his radio would be, you know, the bee, you know, that the loud tones that would wake you up. And so that's you know.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, sure.
It's your show.
I just don't want to interrupt, but like right here, it's a little confusing because can you guys see my pointer?
Let me
Can I move it? Okay.
I can't.
So
see
like
anything.
right here, it says that Dissinger arrives. Right? Wait, hold on. Let me see where it says. Oh, it says right 3:37:30 a.m. Departed en route Flora Fire Unit 654. Right. And then down here it says at 3:38:50 that Deputy Yoder departs the site. Oh, never mind. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought it was a
He was departing where he was
Yoder
like at.
is the Carroll County Sheriff, and Dysinger is the city police. Sorry,
I know.
guys.
I thought that
on the
Yoder
right
got there
you can
first.
see the dash cam footage is from that time.
But how did Yoder get there before anybody else? Like he was like way
He
further
didn't.
away
He
than
got
they should
there
have been.
second. He was the second one there.
Right. But
Josh Dysinger was down the street at the tire
like
shop.
Adam Randall
I'll also tell you, those guys, which they train you not to do, but they'll drive 140 miles an hour to the scene too.
Yeah, like police officers for sure. I know, like first responders.
Oh, first
not
responders
always.
are nuts too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You're not supposed to, but they train you because they don't want more victims. But they do. They drive like nutcases. They get in
The fire
accidents.
department I know is like restricted to 5 above the speed limit and nothing more.
I mean, when they slap their personal crap on their vehicle and blah blah blah. You don't have the right to go faster. I mean, you kind of do, except at your own risk in Indiana and Ohio. So you're responsible for whatever happens. You kill somebody or get in an accident.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
one of the other things I wanted to say, if people live in larger towns or larger cities and don't understand this, is when you live in a rural community or a small town, the budget that you need for a full-time fire staff that's not going to be utilized like it would be you don't have all the car accidents and all that. Just the tax money involved in paying all those people to sit there, it's just not there. So these volunteer departments are how a lot of us.
You know where
Yeah, but I do believe that even the volunteer firefighters in Flora, from what I understand, they did have people that would rotate and stay overnight.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking earlier.
Yeah, that's why that there was a guy there that night, because they had rotating shift on who was going to stay over.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the exact question. I didn't know if it was a dead station at night or if it was.
Yeah, and I was about to actually kind of answer, because you know where I used to live, Dan. Let's not say it.
Yeah.
But in the mountains, we had all of it was volunteer fire stations, but they would have people stay there overnight.
Yep.
And one of them, not all 3, but one of them, yeah.
I know the only paid position is the fire chief, and they do pay the fire chief.
Well, they also pay those volunteers. A lot of people don't.
Oh, yep, they are. They are paid.
Yeah, when
I don't know how it. Yeah, it's
a little bit of money. It's nothing.
Like a
Little.
stipend
No,
or
I
something?
agree. No, it's they get paid.
It's
They get paid by the
yeah.
hour, but it's not
They
like
say volunteer, but it's kind of because you don't have the same benefits a full-time firefighter does
it's
in
like
a
a
state.
volunteer fucking
And
fighter
it's
for
not a
the
big
army.
pay.
Yep.
It is what it is. They get paid. Not a lot, but they do.
It's more of a passion thing, but I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. Like a lot of these people, if you're at your job, you're out. You go. Like if you're working at the local restaurant or whatever, you leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I looked into it myself for a bit because just where I was living, and I lived next to 3 stations, so I kind of looked into it. But honestly, I'm not physically fit enough for it, and I knew it. Be tripping downstairs and shit. Just fine.
Well, and
You can go
it
15
depends
miles.
on where your firefighters are when they get toned, depending on like if they're, some live in the county, some live here in the city on, when I like over the summer there was a fire here around the corner from where I live. My neighbor, his grandfather was on oxygen smoking. Jesus. But anyway,
Awesome.
just yeah, let's just tell you that. And I was on my way
God, I
home.
was
I had
thinking about
two of
that.
the county police follow me in. So they were the first two, because you have to realize they're in the vehicles. They're there where the fire department still needs to come and get in the vehicles. So that's why Drew Yoder and Dysinger and the police were there first, because they're already in their vehicles, where everybody else has to come from their homes, get up out of bed.
Yeah, wake up. Yeah.
Was the fire chief in Flora at the time was Dennis or was it Adam?
Adam, Dennis's son.
Why did I think Dennis was? When did Dennis step down then? Because I thought it was
Like
Dennis
6
Randall
months
stepped
later, I
down.
thought. I don't know.
Dennis Randall stepped down from being the investigator for the for the
When
state.
did he step
Before
down?
that, he stepped down from being the sheriff of Carroll County.
Oh wow.
No, he got voted out.
Yeah, okay, voted out. I apologize.
he couldn't. Yeah. Liggett took over from for Randall. Remember, Liggett took over for Randall.
What?
Yeah, Randall was a sheriff.
No, Lesenby took over for Randall.
Yeah, that's right. Lesenby did. Yeah, you're right. Lesenby took over.
Hey,
This is
it's
a slight correction on what I said. You can go 15 miles an hour over the speed limit per EVOC training. So
and I believe that's Freckled Joy.
My brain is fried.
When did Dennis Randall step down from
Thank
being
you.
the Flora fire chief?
Dennis Randall was never the Flora
Never the
fire
Flora
chief.
fire
It was
chief.
always Adam Randall.
So he just became an investigator for the fire department when he left being the sheriff of Carroll County.
Yes.
Dennis Randall and his whole family, the Randall family, has always been involved in either the fire department or the sheriff's department. Denny's brother lives behind me, and he is the jailer over there. His daughter is a firefighter paramedic. The whole family.
But Dennis Randall was a fire investigator, is what I'm trying to figure out. Dennis Randall was a fire investigator after he was sheriff.
Yes, for the state. He took a job for the state of Indiana, not for Carroll County, for the state. He was an arson investigator for the state of Indiana. Like he worked out of Indianapolis. He worked for them.
Okay.
I got you. Sorry.
No,
That's
it's
my
me and
fault.
Dan are both trying to add her, so it was like adding.
Yeah, I know. Dan and I always fucked that up. But no, I'm gonna head out of here. Hopefully everybody enjoyed what information we had to share.
Yes, thank you.
And,
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jinx, as well. Dan, fuck you.
Yeah.
And obviously, the star of the show here. Thanks for having me on, and I'll speak to you later, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. We'll talk at you.
Yeah.
All right. So is there
Yeah,
any other
so
big
Denny
points
Randall.
then that we missed and didn't talk about?
I don't think so. I think we talked about a lot of things. I just kept running my mouth. I appreciate everybody. I think we should make a plan though on like going over like the first things that happened. And like
Starting
I
from the
like the way
beginning,
Teresa
delving into it
together.
from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my plan. I just want to go. I want to do everything from the. I'm trying to put everything in order so I can, because otherwise I just don't even. I didn't know where to start. So I'm like, I gotta have some type of order to it so I can go through and find it from the beginning and see when things unfolded and when new information was released and whatnot.
And I think that we should I should write down every person and who they are and what they are to the case.
Yes.
So because like you and Savannah don't know all that, and neither does Dan. Me and Jinx know pretty much who's who, but
Yeah,
it's
you're naming
confusing.
all kinds of people, and I'm like, I don't know who that lady is. I don't know who you're talking about.
There's just so
There's a
many
lot.
people.
There's a
And
lot.
CJK, to address CJK says, but how do we move this case forward? In reality, none of us do, but by reaching out on all your social medias, contacting the state of Indiana, whatever, whoever's in charge of the investigation, and bugging them, emailing them, keeping
Do you think
awareness
that-
up. That's the only way you're gonna. That's the way we can do it. And I take
think
that
when-
position in this case. What?
Do you think when Doug Carter resigns that there'll be like a shuffle of stuff like this, or no?
I don't know if Doug Carter's in control. Is he like the head honcho, or is he a
There's already a
spokesperson?
new superintendent in place, so I mean, it's going to be up to him.
Should I give my opinion on what I think of the new
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
keep it to myself. I better just keep it to
speak truth.
myself.
I'll say speak truth
I'm
to
not
power.
really sure. He looks like
we
he's
just need your address, your name, where you work, and then you address him.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
the new guy. I looked into him. I've been told that the new state superintendent, the Indiana State Police, is going to be real fair and this that. But you have to realize he's going into a role that Doug Carter held for a long time. The Flora case is probably not going to be one of his big things. Same thing with the new governor coming in, Braun. I have no hopes of that either. My high hopes are that the case is 8 years old. Maybe I can find somebody somewhere that says, oh my God, this is a cold case. And, it's 8 years. This is a cold case. I don't care what Doug Carter says. It's 8 years. I mean, it's a cold case to me. You guys are not investigating it. All you're saying is,
Kathy, did you get to look into that law that I was talking to you about that passed in the beginning of 2023 about that the victims' relatives could request, if a case was unsolved, to have a different agency take over?
No, I didn't get a chance to look into it, but
Okay.
you have to think, well, who would that be? The
Galen.
agency. No.
Maybe you can have the FBI do it.
I've
I
been
don't
there.
know.
Or
Been
like
there.
any fresh eyes, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what agency would, like a lot of people, like Carroll County. So I've sent some recordings that, I don't know if anybody's listened to them, but the Indiana State Police was recorded by a person. And I'm just saying that they just repeat themselves over and over. I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Well,
It's a
you know
cold
that I tried to get Tim Corbett involved, and you know why he couldn't.
Who was that?
Tim Corbett is a retired police officer out of the Mishawaka area, and he is known for stomping out corruption. Like whenever somebody else brought him in, they were talking about how he was a corrupt one. Well, it comes to terms, if you look it up, it's actually factually proven that he was the one who people were doing corrupt shit, and they were trying to blame it on him, and he got him fired and cleaned out a lot of corruption in his police district because of that. So when he retired, he started working on code cases and stuff like that here in Indiana. And, Mr. Steve from True Crime Web and Ruckus set me up with him to go over the case. And I had a bunch of stuff and we had dinner and whatnot and went over everything. And then, like I said, Kathy, you know what he told me he couldn't proceed.
Yeah, I mean, like if the FBI is investigating it, he thinks that, as who he is, he couldn't get involved in it. And
Right.
I understand. Totally understand. Like he couldn't go start investigating it as investigator. Because like what I was trying to tell you guys is that like in these recordings, you have one side that's the Carroll County Police saying we're not allowed to investigate it. Then you have the other side, which is the Indiana State Police on these recordings saying, yeah, well, if they are investigating it, it's criminal, Carroll County. And then, the Indiana State Police saying that, well, they don't share their information with us and we don't share with them. And, it's so then you go to the FBI and then now who else is there? The justice system? I'm not sure they care.
No.
Well, I mean,
No,
look
yeah.
at the state
FBI
of
is
our
Federal
FBI.
Department of Justice.
I'm lost at where else you would go. Tara called so many people and she just called and called and called. And I don't know why I don't get the interest that I think it should get.
No, I didn't know about it until, I'd say May or something. I'd never even heard about it. And,
I have a hard time. I mean, I know that the Delphi case was huge, and I know that nationwide, but I also thought the Flora case should be nationwide. But what happened was a really bad narrative was put out in the beginning by I believe
the ATF.
Well, no, I believe the Ayers family. I mean, I've been talking to a lot more locals. I've been talking to some of the girls that went to school with these girls, and that it was told in school right after the funerals that Galen set that fire. So these kids were told in school that Galen did it. So there was a narrative put out in that community by somebody. I mean, could it? So.
Well, I won't say who I think.
So, but that was the problem. Is why this case didn't get that attention is because of that narrative that the mother did it, that Galen killed her girls. Galen wasn't from this community. Nobody knew Galen, so it was easy for people to believe that, especially if you have people that lived here all their lives and you got this person that's your best friend for 20 years and they're telling you this happened. Now it's through the schools and so now everybody believes Galen killed her kids. So who cares?
It's just crazy to me because of the amount of fires that have happened in that county, in that area, in the surrounding counties. That I mean, Galen didn't start all the fires, and they have an obscene amount of fire scenes.
Wasn't there someone that was a woman who was affiliated with the police department or sheriff's department that was involved in arson and died?
Oh no, you're talking about Stephanie Thompson, and she was the Indiana State Police. She did the polygraphs, and she lived in Monticello, Indiana, and she was married to the judge there. And what happened is that they were building a new house or remodeling their house. I can't tell you which one it was, but the smoke detectors that were actually wired in the home were not wired up, and the house caught on fire, and her and her daughter died in it. That's it. And that was in Monticello, Indiana. But in that data for Flora,
wasn't that ruled an arson?
No, it wasn't.
It was always undetermined.
Okay.
It's always been undetermined.
It's always been undetermined because the house burnt to the ground, you guys. Like
they were remodeling, Kathy. I found out.
Oh my!
Yeah, there was remodeling and everything.
They were doing a lot of remodeling, and specifically to the kitchen.
in Flora from 2002 to 2017. So 15 years. Structure fires was 46% of the calls. 46% of the calls for fires in Flora, just in Flora, Indiana.
I wonder, and how many ruled in arson? Do you know? Because I wonder, like, how bad the average age of the houses out there, and if a lot of them don't have updated electricity. Because when I first heard about the case, I was like, oh God, it's just like my house. Luckily, a lot of that stuff's been changed in my house, but some of them are still running the old fuse boxes and the old non-grounded wiring that has the fiber material around it. And
there was 460 460 calls in 15 years, and 40% were fires. So there was 185 fires.
Yes, that's a ridiculous amount. Yeah. But the only thing is too is like it's weird because if they were going with undetermined first, and they wanted it to be like some weird cover up where they weren't going to want to look at it, they could have just gone with like an electrical fire. Like to go with arson and then try to cover up after claiming it to be arson is very.
If it was electrical, you have to think.
Yeah, insurance wouldn't cover it. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know because
I thought somebody said something about accidental or something. It wouldn't be covered. I don't remember which way it went.
I feel like somebody thought that the insurance wasn't going to cover it, and
certain accidentals can be claimed as no fault, and the insurance won't pay out, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I thought that if she'd lived there 6 months, it became her responsibility to take care of certain things.
After
Not
6
that
months,
stuff.
she hadn't been there.
That's. You're not, as a renter, you're not required to like bring the electric up to code or anything. If that.
No. I didn't mean like that. I just meant like certain things that, yeah,
like the smoke detector, she would have to do the batteries,
right?
Stuff like that. Just she would have to do the general maintenance type things after 6 months. That's the only reason she was able that the civil lawsuit settled was because of that right there, because she was still within that 6 months, because there was no batteries in the smoke detector where it was pointed that was way up there in that high ceiling. I don't know if you saw the ceilings in that big old house.
Yeah,
but
they
their
9
thing
foot
was
like mine.
Yeah, so their thing is that Galen took a ladder wherever she got a ladder at, because they're just laying around everywhere, and took the batteries out. Her and the girl, or maybe the girls stacked themselves on top of each other and took the batteries out. Not exactly sure, but that was what was said, that the battery was taken out on purpose so that Galen could take the gas that she got from the gas station and pour it all over the house. That's why there was all those places that Denny Randall said.
That person
that's alleging so you can ask Galen.
I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say that's alleging that person, Galen, would have had to gotten the gasoline, poured it in there, probably down. You'd have to go downward through the house, and then go lay in your bed after you start the fire, and then there's no rationale to it.
Well, if that's what they thought.
Well, let's debunk the gasoline.
Determined. I don't know why it would have sat undetermined for a couple of months if they'd found gasoline.
Well, let me
debunk the gasoline right
now. Let me debunk the gasoline right now, okay?
I think
in 2016, the Marathon gas station out there closed at like 9 p.m., I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe 10. And as soon as they closed, the pumps were only prepaid. So you would have to use credit or debit. There would be a record of that payment from Galen's credit card company and through the gas station. And there's cameras. There was always cameras working. So that is easily debunked. Galen never went to the gas station. There's no video evidence of that. And there's no credit card receipts or debit card receipts. And there's no record of it on the books at the gas station. Like, people need to stop that stupid lie. I'm so over that.
That's true.
Well, Doug Carter says that Galen didn't start the fire. He'll tell you
Exactly.
now. He wouldn't tell you years ago. He wouldn't tell you when NAACP came out against him in the and said something fishy was going on. And he wouldn't say it then, but he definitely says it now. He definitely says it now. Dakaria Turner and Steve Brown from the news stations here in Indianapolis have pretty much forced him to say it. Like, dude, you need to what you have said, and he realizes it. Guys, that day before the verdict on Friday, I stood outside talking to Doug Carter, and he would just love to get with Galen so he could apologize to her, because he realizes that this was not his finest hour and that he's part of that narrative that made her look guilty.
Yep, he sure did say that. I was standing right there.
You guys, I mean, I know that he feels a way, but I also think he knows things.
He definitely knows more any other information that we don't know, or that they have.
All right, I'm hopping off here. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah, call me.
Yes, I will. Yes,
Jinx,
I
thank
will.
you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for offering, dude. I appreciate it. And Kathy, I love you. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
Night.
Bye. Yeah, anything, guys. I probably ought to go to bed too, so I can get up. My granddaughter has cheer tomorrow, the cheer competition that those little girls are in. She cheers for the same thing, and it's tomorrow in Indianapolis, so I'm going to that.
Oh yeah, we will definitely let you off of here. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing everything.
No, I appreciate all you guys. You don't I mean, it means a lot to me that these 4 girls get talked about. It means a lot to me that people know the truth. I mean, and whatever people are doing, it's just I know Galen appreciates it. I know that someday, and it might not be a time that I ever see, and it might be that this person will never be caught by the police, but they will have their judgment day. Okay.
May I also address something while you're on here, Kathy?
Yeah.
For future listeners and anybody in the chat, which I don't think I have any problem, please don't reach out to the family and harass them. Don't try to add them on Facebook or do anything weird. Just leave them alone.
Yeah.
And also, I cannot get you in touch with Galen. I've had a bunch of people ask me, and the lady above me on the panel, Kathy, that is the person I would have you go to. And I just she's a human being and a sweet lady.
Kathy, do you have some sort of page that's specific to the Flora fires that maybe
me and T has been talking about that, and I would love to figure out something, and I know that Paradox and Tara had that, the Flora Foundation page, and I mean there were so many.
I believe it links to whatever you guys have now, right?
No, but I think it should be something separate than that, probably.
Yeah.
No, I mean if you type in that website that Tara had, it goes to whatever the current one is now.
Right.
I don't remember what it is now.
What was it before?
Paradox. It was the Flora Foundation. I don't know, whatever that charity website, and now it links. Oh, I have to go there and look at what it is now. I don't know who set up the new one.
Yeah, I don't think that is it.
I haven't been able to find a new one, so that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, let me look. Flora.org.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
If you click it, it's relinked to a different YouTube channel, Flora 4 Angels. It links to that YouTube channel now.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that
That's
is.
That is the one
I
I
don't.
believe that Jinx and Indie Archives and those guys have set up. They do put stuff on there. I have to tell you guys, I mean, like, you guys, I work from 8 to 5 every day. I come home. It takes me half hour, 40 minutes, and I got to deal with the dog and the husband. And I'm like, and then the weekends, I got so many grandkids and stuff. It's just so
Yep.
hard for me. And that's why, like, you guys helping means a lot to me. It does. It means a lot to me because, and I tell Galen all this stuff just so y'all know. It's not like I keep her in the dark. I let her know, you know,
Yeah.
what's going on. But sometimes it's just like it's easier to just keep, you know,
Yeah. Probably hard for her to like.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
I
she's
can't even
doing really
imagine.
she's doing really well right now, you know, with her new job and everything. So it's like I always hate to push her backwards, you know, with some of this stuff. I mean, I would love to be able to go to her and say, "Oh my God," you know, that's when that's, you know,
Yep.
that's where I'm at. I'm just like with Delphi, you know, even, you know, a lot of people don't believe or whatever, but it has to be a moment for the family when they say guilty or, you know, it's that thing, you know, I want Galen to have that.
Yeah.
Oh, Boston. I'll address your barn comments here in a minute. I actually have a family member who's had a couple of those go down in the last couple of years.
Southern Indiana
And
was
down
very
by Gas City and Hartford City, actually. A lot of people put, if they're still using them, they put heaters out in the barns for their horses and livestock, or even design, quote unquote, designer livestock. And the wiring in them is crap. People don't consider it, and they'll just burn to the ground, even without that stuff plugged in. I don't.
Well, Galen didn't have heaters plugged in or anything in the house. I mean,
No,
like she
no.
had well, and then like even the fireplace that didn't work. Like, you know, that was like right outside of her bedroom. So and there was problems in the house. Like she had reported that there was water coming through the light fixtures one time. I mean, there was issues. The girl upstairs, Courtney, would have to come down all the time and flip the breakers because she would be up there. She would have her curling iron and this or that plugged in, and it would throw the breakers. And there was no box upstairs, so she would have to come down, and that's why that garage door stayed unlocked, so she could get to that porch where the breaker was, the patio, or the whatever you call that, the mudroom.
Well, that's one good sign on that whole thing was like when Paradox and my initial impression before I knew anything, if it's got breakers, that's a way better sign for the electrical stuff because that's GFI if it's doing that, or it could be GFI.
Yeah, I mean, she would have to come down. I mean, because you have to realize it's an old house, so it was wired all messed up, and maybe one.
Well, they'll run 6 outlets off of one breaker or 10 outlets.
There you go, Dan. And I think that's what was going on in the upstairs because she had that kind of problem. The girl that lived up there, Courtney, she would come down, Galen said, every now and then and have to, you know, flip the breaker so that her curling iron and this would work or whatever. So all right, well, guys, I'm gonna go to bed.
I just want to say thanks, Cassie, for
thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Look, it's 11 o'clock. Kathy's never.
Thank you for having me on with you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
no,
Very
thank you guys.
informative.
Thank you. Hey guys, we should all just get together and figure it out. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sleep well, rest easy, and have fun tomorrow. Those things are a nightmare.
No, it's going to be amazing. They're going to do great, and it's going to be awesome.
No, I'll do great. It's just for the parents and loved ones. It's an all-day fiasco.
I'll make sure to share pictures because Miranda Lee did something very special. So I'll make sure I share pictures
Amazing.
for the girls tomorrow. Yes. Yes.
All right.
And I
Well, thank you guys.
appreciate all
I'm gonna
that.
hop
too.
off too. So
Well,
have a
howdy,
good night.
Grego.
Talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Bye, Kathy. I'd like to address something too for everyone in here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If I mean everybody lives in a house, brush up on your stop, drop, and roll and your fire procedures. Get a fire extinguisher if you have one. Check it, verify that the pressure's up and the date is within inspection range. Have a
Water
go plan.
filters.
None of this would have stopped what happened, but check your make sure your I check mine once a month. You don't have to do that. Your fire alarms. Have a plan. Make sure it's
Practice it.
accessible and doable. Practice it. That's not just fires. That's uh, electricity going out for weather, tornadoes, ice storms, snowstorms, etc. Do not forget stop, drop, and roll. Like we all learned that as a kid, but people forget and get horribly burned. Just brush up on all that stuff and make sure you're good and keep your family vigilant. Like, and don't forget, like, if for some reason I'm not a firefighter, but if for some reason there is something, stay low. That kind of thing, stay low because that's the smoke rises, the heat
Mm-hmm.
rises. That could be the difference between getting out and passing out. Like
Mm-hmm.
things like that. If you've never seen, like my elementary school in Decatur, Indiana, they did fire simulations with us kids. So you go into this fake burning house, the smoke machine. They'd even have like simulated
cool.
heated doorknobs, and they taught us kids how to do that stuff. You don't need all that, but that gives you an appreciation for what, like, you can picture it in your head, but you can't imagine what the environment's like when that happens. Everything's black. There's no light switch. Nothing works. You can't breathe. Just make sure you stay vigilant on all that stuff. And again, the fire extinguishers in your kitchen. Know what to do in a grease fire. Have baking soda, have a fire extinguisher. Make sure it's, please, for me and for everyone else, for your own safety and your family, make sure you have that kind of stuff. That's all I had to add to it. The last time we talked about it, I had to toss that in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and yeah, you wouldn't believe how many people forget stop, drop, and roll, and it works.
Well, I mean, it like you probably panic if you're like on fire.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. No, I did it. I was burning some brush, caught a shirt on fire, and almost burnt myself because I just freaked out. So make sure your kids know. Talk to your local fire departments about awareness and all that stuff. If you have outlets and stuff that start going bad or anything, make sure you get them repaired. If you have a trippy issue or something with wiring or anything like that, make sure you have it addressed and fixed. Don't put it off because you never know.
Yep.
Do you have anything you want to address?
I just want to thank everybody who came on. I know that there was a lot of people in the chat and even on the panel that don't necessarily normally see eye to eye or and so I think it's cool to put that stuff aside and actually talk about whatever's important. So I appreciate that from people. And yeah, and Kathy, for putting in all her time, Jinx as well, Paradox, everybody, you, Zero,
I hope
the mods.
people, anyone that gets involved in this that isn't one, I wouldn't get personally involved in it to where you're doing it, but keep the peace. Awareness is more crucial than sleuthing and trying to solve it based on internet information. Because I can assure you that everything that's on the internet right now has been tipped into the. I know a few of those people that were heavily involved, including Cassie and Zedong and
And also, if you like know
all those
anything,
guys.
like just turn it in, even if you don't think it's important and you saw something, you live in that area. Just like if you
Yeah.
have personal knowledge, then give it in,
Yeah.
tip it in.
Yep. Keep the awareness, keep the peace. This is about 4 children and a mother in a horrible tragedy. Remember that and proceed forward at that point instead of looking at it as a puzzle that you have to solve and forgetting about all that. I don't get into the sleuthing stuff on this case. I spoke with Galen and I'm more about awareness in this one.
Yep. Okay. Well, good night.
What do you have coming up tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
tomorrow?
Oh yeah. I should totally.
Yep. Let's give some plugs now.
Tomorrow
Giggity.
will be Cryptex, and we'll just be talking about like his journey through covering true crime, like just some like thoughts and stuff over the case over the years, but not really too much of that, just more like how he's like come to who he is now. And I have a lot of respect for Cryptex, and so I'm excited about that one. It's going to be very interesting and great. And then the next day, I'm going to have Matt come on, and he's going to talk about a
What's
cold
Matt
case from
What's his channel?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's
River,
like
is it
River City Mystery or something? I don't know. Why do you got to put me on the spot like
River
that?
City Mystery. I know. I'm just helping you plug your guests.
I know. And he's going to talk about a case from Evansville, Indiana. So that should be interesting. Hopefully, maybe we could get like some action going on that one with Ruckus and Steve. So that's what's coming up.
So check out River City. What was it? True Crime? River City True Crime?
Mystery. River City
A
Mystery.
River City Mystery podcast on YouTube. If you search for it, it does come up. It's a smaller channel. Not sure what the subscriber count is.
But he has a good podcast, and it's
I don't know if
available
it's
on all
iTunes,
podcasts.
Spotify. Ooh,
all of them.
Nice. Very nice. And I think like Bob Mata, that's the focus of that. I hope the YouTube channel has a link to it as well. What time are these shows starting?
Jeez,
thank you, Zero.
Dan, what are you trying to do to me here? I don't
This is the stuff that if I hadn't woken up an hour after I was supposed to, I would have been out of this
Jenny,
stuff ready
I will
for you.
ask him how tall he is, okay? Like one thing that some people want to know is how tall are you?
So anybody in the chat that's not, I'm pretty sure you all are. Give a subscribe to Criminality. I'm not sure it's at Criminality. Twitter is 187 at Criminality 187, I think, and then you'll find it. If you can't find it just on Criminality, search Criminality Delphi. It will come up.
Nobody's still here right now. Nobody's watching still.
No, they're talking to people later. There's 21.
I'm just kidding.
How dare you say? How dare you? Cryptex, same thing. He's at Cryptex Delphi on Twitter. It's Cryptex on YouTube or Cryptex Delphi. He's the Colombian guy who used to wear the face mask. Has a heavy Colombian accent. Very wonderful guy. Good friend of mine.
So nice.
Who else do we have? The Flora. If you type in flora4.org, it'll take you to that YouTube channel that we talked about earlier. I'm not sure if they've done very much with it yet, but I think they post information regarding memorial walks and all that. Well, you got Greeno in the chat. He was a guest last week.
Yeah,
At
I
Anthony
want
Greeno on YouTube.
I want
Give
him
a
and
like and
Sterling to
subscribe.
come on together. Together
Oh my.
forever. Hopefully
Come
in January
together
they'll be free.
right now. Over
I
me.
just think that their friendship is like so funny and good. Like I like I think it's cool.
It is an interesting dynamic. The Sterling he's a whiz kid. He's smart.
He is super smart.
Probably older than I am, but super smart.
Probably not too much older than you. I don't think. I really have no idea how old he is actually.
I assume everyone that's on the internet's older than I am, and I'm getting
But
old.
I do know how tall he is. So
6'9".
no,
6'11".
no,
Oh, he's like 5'8" or 5'10". I
no.
bet.
He's like a solid 6 foot.
Most people are 6 foot or like 5'10", 5'11", bro. They all round up.
Don't.
It's like
Are
the
you
difference
calling-
between
don't
6
call
and 8
Sterling a
inches.
liar.
Everybody rounds up. I'm calling you a liar, Sterling. Prove me wrong. Not really. He's pretty funny. Let's see. Who else? We can give some shout outs. Howdy from the 3021. Glad to see you. Jenny, Miranda Lee, Greeno, everyone else that's in here. Zero. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, share, hit the notification button.
Put the thumbs down. Unsubscribe. Okay.
Yeah, thumbs down too. Either way, engagement's engagement.
Make sure you
Share
leave
it.
comments talking crap about me and Dan.
Anybody? Oh yeah, me especially, not her. Leave
I didn't
glowing
talk too much
comments
this
for the
time,
lady.
so people can't really say too much. Hopefully.
Oh, I hope they don't say things like that, but it's the internet. People take their stress and anger out on the internet. But
One
take
guy
it out
told
on me. Go to the Curious Contrarian on YouTube and just leave me mean comments. I love them. And Twitter.
You
I love it.
loves
I
it.
love a good spit roast. Hot tua.
Oh my goodness.
Check out the latest leak. What leak? Has Patrick Westphal unalived anyone? I don't believe so, but I don't know. Some people think he's Tony Soprano. I think he's more like who's the dude from The Ringer? Touch my baseball. Anybody's seen that, they'll get it.
Maybe.
He's a Down syndrome or autistic guy.
Okay, that's where we're ending it.
Asshole.
That's enough of that. No. Just kidding.
Nah, don't hate. It's so hard. Don't hate. Create is putting out a lot of good content.
Or
Guys,
putting out.
if you
I'm just
like
putting
seeing
out.
things without all the oh
I'm just
my,
kidding. I didn't mean it like
as one
that.
should.
I mean, putting out content.
Put out or get out, bruh.
Hopefully it gets better and it's good. And like, I think the stuff we've already done is pretty good. I'm happy with the guests I've had on. And I think that everybody should be nice to each other
Oh my God,
and
Jenny,
love
shut
each
up.
other.
Shut up, Jenny. You with your rat tail fascination, bruh.
Ooh, David Duchovny. I used to love the X-Files so much.
Yeah, that's my profile picture. Is David Duchovny with the yarmulke on. I made it on Grok today.
Greeno, also, did you unblock me from your channel? Please do that. The Big Fish Small Pond.
Or just
unblock
don't.
me. Or just do.
Or just don't. Why would you? Why, as a matter of fact, double block her. Report her. Never mind.
Blocker.
To
Okay.
the reporter. Yeah, block.
Nope.
Reporter to the Space Force.
Yeah.
She is the drone. She is
It's
the
not your
drones over New
channel.
Jersey.
I don't even know why I got blocked on that channel because I didn't even say anything. It was like immediate block, whatever. Oh, okay. Well, I guess fine.
What's not your channel? The one you're on?
Yeah, if you're
Or
on it,
was
you could unblock me. That's how it works. Like you
Yeah,
could
if you're
log into it,
accessing the studio.
then you can do it.
Hell, I might be able to do it. I don't know. More content on the channel after this. No, do you have something else coming, Greeno? Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you were. Well, if you get something else coming, then let us all know. What is it? What did Mustang say? Big fish, be careful who you believe to be a friend. Oh, I know what you're getting at, and I'll talk to you about it later. And she is aware. Gosh darn commies.
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
His girlfriend, Casey.
It's all about the Republicans. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Good night. I'm gonna get off here. If you're not the account
I
owner,
love
you
you
could still
guys.
unblock me.
Not if he's not a manager on it, or if he took himself off. Well, obviously he didn't take himself off of it, but if you're a manager, something like that, you can still do it. But if you're not uploading any content, who cares?
Good night. Thank you. Come on.
Well, I love you guys. She did it again. If anybody wants to say anything in the comments, I'll read all comments, all racial epithets, all derogatory remarks, all political statements, anything you want. Until she learns how to hit that end live button, that's what we're going to do. I'm just kidding. I'll read a couple more comments. Are you creating another channel, Greeno? I also personally want to say thanks for tuning in, guys. I know I'm divisive and cantankerous and can make people mad, but no channel for Greeno. Yeah, I can't upload either, so don't feel bad. And I'll help out here until the attacks start coming. At Don't Hate Create for me being around. Vance 2028. Oh,
Okay.
Hey, how's it
Okay.
going there? How's it going there?
All right. I got it. Good night, everybody.
This is MAGA country.